It's the adrenaline running through my gait. It gets me high, high, high. Got no time to waste. Ain't got time for small talk. I tell you the truth. I'm faster than you. I'ma tell you the truth. Not in it to lose, just faster than you. Look into my eyes, I'm not afraid. Take over my mind till it fades. Like a medicine, it keeps me safe. This neon lights lead the way. Ain't got time for small talk. I tell you the truth. I'm faster than you. I'ma tell you the truth. Not in it to lose, just faster than you. Faster than you. I tell you the truth. I'm faster than you. I'ma tell you the truth. Not in it to lose, just faster than you. I tell you the truth. Just faster than you. Just faster than you.
ESL One Cologne Online is brought to you in part by Intel, Mountain Dew Game Fuel, DHL, and GGBet.
Welcome back to ESL One Cologne. To get the Counter-Strike going today, we've got mousesports and NaVi going head-to-head in their first Group A matchup. But before we kick up, last week I caught up with Frozen to find out how Mouse are going to work their way from the bottom back up to the top where they belong.
Thank you for joining me, Frozen. I just want to dive in right away and just ask about how you spent the break, because when I spoke to your coach, Regin, just before DreamHack Masters, or after DreamHack Masters, I should say, he said that you're a team in desperate need of one.
I mean, the break, I was just chilling at home. This was actually the first break I didn't touch CS at all, because every break we had, I was trying to play and just keep in shape. But this break, I just tried to refocus the best I can and just relax.
And now you've arrived in Hamburg to boot camp with the team. Do you feel like that was the right decision? Now you're starting to play again.
I mean, for sure, there's Cologne coming up. It's one of the biggest tournaments, and of course, we want to win that one.
But in terms of you actually stepping back from the game and not, say, doing drills every day, do you feel like you feel better for that?
Yeah, yes and no, because I never experienced this before. Every break I had, I just played. It wasn't break for me. But this one, I just I tried to use it the fullest I could.
As individual players on Mouse, we've witnessed you have your own struggles. How did the move to online affect you personally?
To be honest, I didn't get affected that much, but of course it's hard when there's 1 year when you just travel, let's say 3 times per month somewhere, and then suddenly you're just sitting at home playing online for 4 or 5 months, or I don't know how long that was, but yeah, it can do something to the mental part, I would say.
And what about as a team? Because even on LAN, focus could be an issue for Mouse. So do you find it even harder to keep things together when playing online?
Yeah, I mean it's hard to control people to like have 100% focus on the game. Like there's a lot of stuff that can like affect you when you're at home. Like can be literally anything, like vacuum cleaner or something. And that's why we are actually here at the boot camp. So we're like 100% focused on the game.
So what are you focused on in that boot camp this week? What's the main thing you want to switch up for Cologne?
We just repeating our stuff, making sure that we remember everything, and maybe adding some new tactics.
While other aggressive teams like Furia have thrived online recently, why do you think Mouse has struggled?
Hard to say. I mean, to be honest, I think we weren't the only ones struggling. There was a lot of like teams that had problems for sure. But I think that's just what it is. Like everything is happening for good, I would say.
So let's look to the future, because Mouse, you are a team that so many people look forward to watching, and you have got that potential to be back at the top. How do you think you're going to do it?
I mean, I think we're gonna do it just like we did it back in 2019. Just keep grinding and just smash.
Well, I can't wait to see you smash. Thank you so much for talking to me, Frozen. Good luck at Cologne.
Thank you.
I'm quite enjoying the image of Frozen trying to do his thing, say on Nuke, while his mum comes in and is just like, put your feet up, son. And then she's just like hoovering underneath.
Quite the maneuver to hoover, Frankie.
It is that. I mean, when I have a championship son or daughter playing Counter-Strike, I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to be like, this is tough love. You need to just turn the volume up. I'm going to keep things clean so you don't sneeze while you're playing. I am slightly concerned about the fact he didn't touch the game during the player break. I know he's young and it's probably easier to get back in the game when you're fresh, etc., etc. It's like riding a bike if you're 17. But still, Harry, does that concern you?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a weird one, right? Because there are some teams where, and this was always the case like historically as well, there were some teams that would go away and throughout the player break just didn't touch the game at all, and then they would come back and they would have like a few days or like a week or so of practice building up to an event, and they would look great, and then that time off looked like it really justified the decision. But then there's other times where like teams or players, individuals have attempted that, they come back and it just falls completely flat. So for me, we're not really going to have an answer to it until we get into the server. The one thing I will say is I especially think when you kind of look at like where mousesports were, you look at how young someone like Frozen is, and I mean, he didn't really comment on whether or not the rest of the team were in that same boat. So it does come down to the individual. I would love to see him just kept grinding, but like that sometimes isn't the solution, and we do have to respect that. Obviously these guys, they might want some time to themselves where they're not just playing CS 300 days a year.
I know that Robs at least did the same, right? He took a break across the entire player break. He tweeted, like maybe a week before this event that they were getting back into things. But again, touching on that point, the reason I worry about that is when you take a month break and you come back, well, then you're going to be focusing on your individual, getting back to form individually, which is great. Obviously, you need to do that. But then how much time does that leave for team prac, developing strategy, coming up with new ideas? Compare that to a team like NaVi that I don't think are going to be taking time off. Simple breathes Counter-Strike. He probably plays it in his sleep. So yeah, it's going to be quite hard to come into this event. I hope Mouse have put in a good amount of practice over the last 7 days.
Well, we do know they have, because they're on boot camp in Hamburg at the moment. That's where I was talking to Frozen, hence why he didn't have anyone hoovering under his feet during our interview. And NaVi as well, they've been on boot camp in Kiev. I haven't heard whether they're still in Kiev playing together. Because of COVID, they know that this is probably going to be their only boot camp this year, so hopefully they've stuck around together. They had some so-so results, but before the play break, they started to build up to something looking more promising, Hugo.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always hard with NaVi, right? They peak, they fall off, they peak, they fall off. But I think this is also the best NaVi roster that we've had in some time. And also, another a noteworthy thing about this team is they're such a young team. They're actually the youngest team in the top 10, with the exception of Liquid, who are pretty much around the same age, right? We got the oldest guy being Flamey, and that's saying something, right? No more Zeus, no more Edward. So a bunch of 21, 22-year-olds. That's like the average age, 22. I think these guys are hungry, and of course, course, that reflects in like a team like mousesports as well when you have, you know, 3 extremely young players in Woxic, Frozen, and Rops, of course.
I always think as well that NaVi are a team that should do quite well on the back of a player break. I think the moment you give people like Boomich and Blade some time to address the problems that were maybe affecting NaVi, as opposed to, you know, like when they were in the heat at the moment, like just having to go one event to the next, be that traveling or online, right? Like even though you have more time at home, you don't want to have just finished 10 hours of playing online and then you know, load into the server, you start running through everything. You know, it's not going to be as meticulous, it's not going to be as detailed as you like. Well, now they've had a month off. They've had a month to be thinking about these problems, and at the very least, like considering how they're going to address that when they do get back to the events. Well, now they're back at the events, Frankie. Let's see if they have addressed it.
Oh, I'm really, really especially excited to see NaVi play. I know that because I spoke to Flamey last week, they have been in a boot camp in Kiev, and Blade has been showing them some new stuff. So they're not changing any roles. And I don't think they need to. Nope. But they are trying out some new things. So I'm kind of curious to see what happens, because with NaVi, when something works, they don't change it. They seem to just like go at it again and again. You just have to take a look at Dust 2. They're just going to go long A, obviously it's playing spawn base if the spawn's in their favor. And then they're just going to keep doing it. And if the enemy can't adapt to them, that's fine. That's the enemy's fault. So they don't need to change anything up. So I'm kind of curious to see if Blade is going to try and inject a little bit more big brain players, or if NaVi are just going to do what they can do best, which is rely on their individuals and go frag. Yeah. Let's take a look at the veto and see what we're expecting today. Have you guys got any predictions? We're not going to see Vertigo, we know that.
So yeah, like, you know, outside of knowing that we're not going to see Vertigo, I think for mousesports, this is pretty rough, right? Like, I think you're up against NaVi, a team that can play pretty much everything, coincidentally, really, apart from Vertigo. So it's like, oh, you know, that's already not ideal. Because you think about it, like for mousesports, Dust 2 for them has looked pretty poor. And considering as well, like Hugo, we learned this a few pro leagues ago, like when the team was relatively new at that point in time, they were trying to make Dust 2 like one of these staple maps, and they had some success, then they fell short at times. It's just been very inconsistent, it feels like, and that's the case for a lot of teams, even NaVi having that kind of creep on in at some point.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that NaVi's ban is Vertigo here, right, instead of Overpass. We're not having Overpass really removed that heavily.
Yeah, they've taken it out twice, it's gone,
they really don't want to play it. But that's a safe assumption, right? There's no way you'd let that slip through against a mouse who can play that map, and NaVi have only played it once, and that was in a charity tournament, and they got 2 rounds. So yeah, let's just move past that like it never happened. Inferno being the pick for mousesports, I mean, that's a NaVi classic. That's a historic NaVi map. But yeah, where else can you really go? Like you said, NaVi are going to be comfortable everywhere else. So Inferno coming through, we'll find out the rest once the graphics come back up. But yeah, who knows? I don't really care at this point. I just want the match. You know, I just want good Counter-Strike, because, you know, coming into, like we've already talked about yesterday, coming into a tournament after a player break, everyone's refined maps. Everyone's come up with new stuff.
I know that like those graphics are broken. I feel like maybe those vetoes were like the wrong way round as well. Like it said mousesports picked Inferno, right? That feels like a bit of it. Yeah. So we'll address that.
We'll figure it out.
I think that veto's right. I think that veto's right.
More guessing games.
I know that Mouse, we don't normally see them picking Inferno, but I think that either of them were going to pick Train today. So I was fully expecting to see Train. It's just the question is, are we going to see Dust 2 as a decider? Because both of these teams, as you said correctly, Mouse have had some trouble on Dust 2.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of trouble.
We love it.
Yeah, I would be imagining them to come through that as a second ban. But what you might have that issue that we had between OG and NIP yesterday, where those last 2 maps are Mirage and Dust. It's like, well, what do we want to lose to NaVi on today? You know, like that's such a hard pick. And honestly, it's going to come down to
okay. Look, seeing as we do have like this little tech issue with the whole map veto moment, something that we can talk about that's cool for Mouse is obviously not playing at this event, but they picked up a 6th man recently in BMAS, and that's sick, right? He comes over from FaZe. That's interesting in and of itself to me when you think about like the history with Carrigan with that team, now taking BMAS from it to come in as a 6th. I'm also hoping that like the pressure that at any moment one of you could just get put on the bench and we could bring in this guy who's pretty good. Like I'm hoping that pressure is gonna like cause a bit of an increase in the consistency from players on Mouse, because that's been a bit of a problem for them. You know, like 1 minute someone like Woxic popping off, mate, not missing anything. Next, oh well, he's missing a bit. But we got the map vetoes. We sorted it out. We got it all fixed for you. Yeah. And I tell you what, all in all, like, you know, 0 out of 5 ain't bad, so let's go. It's actually Nuke for Mousesports, Train for NaVi, and then Dust 2 to finish things off.
I like
Harry,
that.
can you just come over here and just look at my notes? Oh, what's that? I'm saying Train, Nuke, Dust 2 is the same.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
That's good.
Well, gentlemen, I think we're going to have a really interesting game on our hands. NaVi, for me, they've won this veto. Like, we know that they're lethal on you.
Yeah.
They're loving training. They're putting loads of time onto it, and Dust 2 is a great decider.
I don't know how NaVi couldn't win this.
Yeah, I think it would have
really.
been very, very tricky. Like, unless they ended up on Vertigo somehow, and even then, like, I still think they would win the veto. I will say, though, like, I'm always happy to give a team like mousesports the benefit of the doubt, because it's like, even if a few individuals have taken time off, I know someone like Carrigan, I know some guy like that isn't someone whose brain, like, ever stops thinking about CS. I know he's still been playing it as well during the player break, so I'm hoping that, like, he's got lots of ideas. You know that someone like Regin, once again, has gone away and just been, you know, like, trying to iron out all these problems. All the kids, they get to go chill, they get to go have fun, but not the two dads of the team, right? Not Carrigan, not Regin. Those guys will still be thinking, they'll still be plotting, they'll still be scheming, and that's what I want. That's what I want from them.
I really love the fact that Carrigan seems to do strat prep while he's lying down with a face mask on and cucumbers on his eyes. Like, that's how I imagine Carrigan dreams up the next winning strategy. But I want to ask you guys to highlight a couple of individuals. I believe we're going to come to you first.
Yeah,
You go.
You can go for that. Yeah, I'm picking someone from NaVi. I'm picking, oh, what a surprise. What a shock.
Is it? Is
It's
it Flamey?
Simple, the
Oh.
best player in the world. But actually, that's a talking point in and of itself, right? We always say Simple's the best player in the world. Now, obviously, we're in a turbulent time for Counter-Strike. It's hard to know who's the best team. Results are inconsistent online. We know that NaVi are on LANers themselves. If Simple wants to remain talked as that best player in the world, this is the event that he needs to prove it, right? Master Championship level event at the end of EPT for this year. It's Cologne, it's ESL One. He needs to perform. And sadly, if we look at history, even if Simple performs, that doesn't necessarily mean NaVi perform. And that's always the worry, right, of having a player this good. But it's not like NaVi are a bad team, but he just so exceeds everyone else to a degree that sometimes NaVi don't get the placings that they want. I hope this event is different, Frankie.
Well,
And Harry?
For me, Frankie,
Yeah.
I've gone with Rops. I went with a great choice, I think.
Yeah.
Top performer for Mouse, and I think individually, he's probably one of my favorite players in the entire European region. You think about his like storyline, right? Like where he came from, coming from online play, just getting like plucked up, tested out, plugged in, and now like you fast forward, he is now like one of the most experienced players on this team, especially to someone like Frozen, right? He's this guy who can act like a mentor, like a teacher, and for someone who's so young, like the brand of Counter-Strike he plays is just fantastic. It's so intelligent. He's so smart. He looks like he's been playing for like 20 years, and he's like that old. So it's just mind-blowing, really, when you think about it. I really love Rops. I really love everything about him. Also, the fact that we have Train seeping its way in. Keep your eye on Rops, dog, because we saw Bubsky offering up a masterclass, and Rops has got a few tricks up his sleeve as well.
Well, a man who's always got some tricks up his sleeves and then some is Simple. And so, boys, get ready to have your mind blown yet again, because we're going to take a look back at Simple in Cologne 2016 doing his thing.
Two rifles here for Fnatic moving into the second last round. They had a chance to break the economy of Liquid. They still have a chance going into the last round. But this one's not going to be easy. And surely we're going to see a fast play from Fnatic.
Look at this, Liquid want to get more aggressive in middle there. Not giving Elephant the space to breathe, but the spray now comes into play. It will be the Flames to finish off Olofmeister, but he's done. Crims and Dennis still stand, and they cannot be counted out at the moment as they are holding on to some pretty dangerous weaponry. They don't have utility to aid them in their eventual push, but what they do have going for them right now is time. They're very spread out at the moment, and Fnatic should be able to get engagements. What is that? Long-range shot connected by Crims. JW is history, and maybe there's a chance now for Fnatic in this round.
Two players now for Fnatic just holding up again. They're waiting for the peaks. Who is going to be the recipient? It is going to be Hiko. That's a big frag. Simple is creeping. They see him with the AWP now, and a desperate play into B comes in. See a double smokes in the same place there. Simple just jumping casually into the site. He's going to fall down and get a distance frag. What is this shot from Simple? Are you serious? What is that? You can't do that, Simple. That's not allowed. This is not FPL. This is a major. He didn't even. He had one button on his mouse stand. He had one button. There was no zoom.
Well, me and Harry, we're a big fan of like lip syncing for our lives and like the kind of sashay away style. Hugo is incredible at lip syncing to casters. I feel like we need to make this happen because people need to see your lip syncing Bardolph skills. They are quite something.
Yeah, I don't look anything like Bardolph. I'm way shorter, but yeah, I can work on it. I can't do the voice either, but you know, he's had some legendary moments and a lot of Colognes as well when we look at the history. So yeah, I'm ready for Simple back on Cologne. I mean, we had this matchup last year in 2019, Mouse versus NaVi. It was, of course, NaVi with Zeus over Perfecto, so a very different team. But NaVi not only beating Mouse in the opening match of Group A, but even knocking them out of the group later in a bo3. So yeah, there's some history here, of course. That was a while ago, but let's see if NaVi can repeat that.
Well, do you think NaVi are going to repeat their vintage performances today?
I want to lean the way of NaVi for this series. Like we already talked about Vito and the reasons that holds strong. We already talked about the fact that mousesports have had that break, and we know that NaVi don't break. Like obviously everyone benefits differently. Everyone has different preferences. But yeah, I'm going to go with NaVi for the series.
All right, Hugo.
Yeah, I think I'm inclined to agree with Hugo there. You know, I love the mousesports guys. You know I do, and so it's a really, really horrible one for me to pick against them. But I don't know, man. The way I'm envisioning mousesports coming back up to the plate is like a slow build. You know, I don't think it's going to be you show up, you're immediately incredible. I think they're going to surprise us today, but I don't know if that's going to be enough to get a win over Simple and the rest of his squad.
I'm interested to see this Nuke because Rops is the one to watch on Nuke, right? That map is like his playground. This is when you see the big brain players come out. He's going to be everywhere on that map. NaVi are not going to be able to predict his movements because I don't think anyone can. Who do you think is going to be the difference maker on NaVi, Harry? Simple aside, all right? I know that's an obvious question.
So if
Come
I'm
on,
not
let's
allowed
say
to
two.
pick Simple, then, you know, I guess you got to look at Electronic. But I think if you can make any case for someone to have had time away, it would be someone like Electronic, you know, where he has like a family, he has stuff that he has to actually keep in order while he's trying to play CS all the time. So, you know, maybe if anyone, I don't know personally. I would love to see it. I guess we're going to see when we get into the server. But yeah, I would be looking at Electronic traditionally to be that second man picking up the pieces alongside Simple.
And what do we need to see from Mouse in order for them to beat NaVi today, or at least take it to 3 maps?
Well, one thing's for sure, they've got to hope that NaVi come into this tournament like NaVi often do and drop the first game, because that is just a NaVi classic, isn't it? But hopefully not today. I mean, who knows? At the end of the day, it's going to be a bo3 between NaVi and mousesports. Nuke to start.
NaVi!
Often do and drop the first game, because
Let's go!
lots.
Sorry, guys, the mics haven't cut out again.
Are we on? Are we on? I'm interested in NaVi starting on the CT side. That's traditionally their weaker side of the map. Obviously, Nuke, we all know it's a CT-sided map, but it's NaVi. Anything can happen.
Goodbye to your face, Boomich. Quick Glock tap puts him down to 2. mousesports, they've successfully crossed Secret despite heavy outside control, but it's all a trap. Electronic was waiting here the entire time, and mousesports, trying to push into the B-bomb site, are going to have to get past him and his USP. And Flamey also here. Simple, first blood, as you should expect from this man with a CZ75. mousesports still looking to commit through this lower door. They've got the smoke going through. Electronic has a gap, though, and him versus the P250 of Rops, doing some damage, dropping off. Plant covered by Rops with a quick shot. And Perfecto's already trying to come in for the retake. Flamey dropped on ramp, and NaVi in a very compromised spot.
Perfecto sees it. Oh, Boomich is blocking him in. Boomich, get out the way. Perfecto is here to play another kill. And now just Woxic left to beat. Woxic already on a double. Perfecto with 3. And he's looking for a big pistol round. It's Perfecto getting it locked in for NaVi.
I think we all remember that classic NaVi game where you know, I can't even remember their opponents, but Perfecto died 3 times on the CT side or something, just staying alive up on A rafters. He's such a sick anchor player, always doing his role, never, you know, giving away early picks to his opponents, and I really love seeing him on Nuke. I obviously, Simple and Electronic are the big talking points, especially with Electronic and his secret shenanigans, but Perfecto, he's a guy that's just not going to make any mistakes, and that's why he's so entertaining to watch in this team. A huge pistol round clutch on the side of NaVi. And mousesports, they're going to eco this one up. A couple of deagles here and there. A scout on Woxic, imagining he'll take that outside. Let's see if he can find some scalps.
I love whatever you like. You even think about how like the image of NaVi, at least in my head, has changed. Like I don't know if you guys agree with this, but like you think about like when Zeus was in the squad and stuff, they were like these like pretty oh, you know, like you didn't want to mess with NaVi. Whereas now I just think they're so nice. Like look at this actually, Woxic opening up. I wouldn't expect him much of this round. That's why I'm just kind of, you know, not really talking about much. But Electronic at least has got things back under control here. It's now only just the pistols. So, you know, as I kind of segued away from whatever I was saying, we've kind of returned to the expected outcome here, Hugo. Carrigan with the deagle, tiptoeing his way outside, and actually is going to delete Boomich. It's the clash of the IGLs in main. Carrigan comes out ahead. Now Perfecto here inside of the A site. This man is quite the anchor over here. Can he continue to give us the goods, deliver what he's known for? There's the first follow-up, going to be found by Carrigan. And so this A site now belongs to mousesports.
Yeah, I mean, mousesports' Deegs, they're good. I don't need to tell you that. Carrigan, Rops, these are the guys you're going to want to watch out for on the eco, but it's Chris picking up an M4 and aggressing into the hut for one more. Electronic, a long way from home, and down in the B bomb site, he is going to have to walk right up the ramp. I mean, this round's done. There's no kit. There's only 20 health. Chris is holding the perfect off angle for this position. And even if Electronic gets this kill, the round is surely going to fall in the favor of mousesports. Keep in mind, that's not even a force by either. Deagles and a scout. Woxic finds the crucial opening kill to the 1M4 of Simple up in heaven. And Perfecto, he's able to get a kill from the back of the A site, but immediately traded by Carrigan's double Deags. Good stuff from the in-game leader of mousesports. They will find their first.
So yeah, here, obviously you and I, we got to see a lot of NaVi back in EPL and RTR. You know, for me, one of the things that really stood out about Nuke was someone like Boomich, just feeling like at times he would often get caught out in the wrong place at the wrong time. I hope that's something that we see addressed here, because he was the man to fall there over towards main that allows that whole push to come in. He's already taken a much more passive lie, and I like that from him. He kept being someone who would just rush squeaky door, it felt like. So I'm glad that we've got him playing with that big old brain of his. Rosen's already been removed in this round by Simple, and mousesports now in a 4-on-5. Woxic going to start to creep over towards main, but actually decides against it for the time being. It's Electronic in this position. Where's Simple ended up? He's taken that Deeg over here towards ramp. And, you know, with players from Mouse starting to tiptoe their way back to lobby, there's always a chance that we see Simple's Deagle come to life once again.
Yeah, I love watching Tier 1 CS, man, because they just don't miss. And it's unlike anything else. Simple. First blood again. A 5-on-4. mousesports looking at the door. They've got Woxic on this lurk. He needs to come in from main at the right time to catch Electronic. Looking behind. Oh, the CZ's going to take him down, though. AK gone. And now they filter out through the door. They flood into the site, but the molly will burn out one. Boomich coming up the vent with the P250, trying to find the right timing. Rops is looking very close, but not considering it. mousesports have gone quiet, and so NaVi decide to wait. Simple dropping the bomb. It flies towards him. Oh, with these shots coming through, Boomich will fly up the vent as well. And that was a perfect pinch on the A site for NaVi.
That's great, man. That's the kind of CS we want to see Boomich play, because everything about there, his role, he's actually under a lot of pressure in that position. Like, it being in the vent, if he dies, they drop vent, they go B. B site's gone, it's a 2-on-2, and any chance you had is out the window. But by him just biding his time, waiting on the ladder in that fashion, he's able to come in, pincer as they drop the other player towards the site, and just solidify that second round for NaVi, so that was great.
Gentlemen, just to interject very briefly, over on the B stream, Complexity are currently 8-0 up against Mad Lions.
Yeah, Mad Lions, man, that's a huge calamity going on there with with a Polish player being brought in. You have to remember now that communication is going to be a big talking point inside of that roster as they move from Danish to international off the back of one player, and that's always kind of it's got to be worth its weight in gold. Innocent really has to perform to make that worthwhile. Woxic, hello? Or Frozen, more goodbye. He walks into the scout shot. Woxic follows up. He at least makes it worth his while, but boy, you're going to have to do some impressive stuff, Woxic, to win this round now with a man down. mousesports are trapped in the yard. This scout is lethal.
Yeah, man, like that's the thing about Woxic. Like he is, it's like you let him off the leash and you don't know where he's gonna go. You know, like you don't know who he's gonna bite. You don't know what he's gonna do. Look at this. He's looking for a man in main. Gets the tag on a Boomich, and that's Boomich's cue to fall on out. This bomb is rotated all the way back through outside. Gonna rejoin Chris J in the lobby. Looking like they want to try and get in towards this A site. They don't have to commit to A, though. That's like the beauty of this. They certainly might feel obliged to, especially with Woxic still pressuring outside. Perfecto tucked away. Boomich back in the site, tagged up earlier on by the scout, and Chris J's just seen him on the jump peak. There's the kill for Chris. The man who don't miss. Bomb planted, and now a 3-on-3.
Yeah, Woxic was covering upper, but he's going to go back to the lobby and do a flamey on the ramp push. All bit of damage in the favor of Mousesports. They're really going to do this again, are they? They didn't even force Harry, and somehow they're making this one realistic. Perfecto with the one kit in heaven. He at least needs to get out of that position and not leave that kit up there. Simple flamey, a killer piece, and blink and you miss it. This round has been retaken from NaVi. Great control. Great patience. I've liked these retakes on the A site so far, right? NaVi not rushing. It would be very easy for Perfecto to look for gunfights there, but, you know, just waiting on his teammates. We saw, you know, Simple on the ramp lurk in the previous A retake, and then Boomich come up the vent. Oh, yeah, okay. You know, it looks silly in slow motion, but, you know, imagine heat at the moment. Saw an arm come out, took a shot, frozen peaks as well. Unfortunate stuff, but still a bomb plant for Mousesports, and that was only an eco. They can buy full.
I do just want to emphasize for the viewers at home, that wasn't Rops suddenly completely changing his look. That was actually Fan Cam, a Mousesports fan desperately holding on for his team.
Boomich has got the auto shotgun. I love that. Let's see what he can do with it. Rops out here by the vent, and how's he managed to get down? The nade hits him. They don't realize it. Oh no, electronics gone.
Oh.
Down goes Boomich. He tries to get through the vent, and he just had no idea that Rops had already gotten down. And when Rops gets down, it often gets dirty. It's now a 3-on-5 retake at this B site, and Flamey offers himself up now as well. Simple and Perfecto left in a 2-on-5. Now, you've got to bear in mind, Simple's still up. He counts for like 3 men all on his own, so even odds, really, if you think about it like that. But down goes Simple, and now it's just Perfecto left. He's going to try and save over here on the A site. He never even really looked that interested to begin with.
Yeah, Simple was already running away, right, and getting peeked off the back of the footsteps. That audio is all Woxic needed to go for the fight. That's going to be another round for Mousesports. I like how competitive this is early on, right? Back and forth. The money is up in the air. No one is taking consistent rounds. NaVi are the only ones to manage to streak together 2, rather. And I love that vent dive as well. I don't know how the hell Rops gets down unnoticed. 20 health. And he immediately catches Boomich. And at that point, when Mousesports already have the outside pick from the player in main spraying the smoke, and then they kill a rotate to B, NaVi are in full panic mode. They're in full patch-up mode because they realize, oh god, we've not got the B bomb site. We're already in a 5-on-3. We've got to rush down there, you know, and just kind of bucketing water out of the boat. But there's a hole in the bottom. It's sinking, Harry. And Mousesports rising to the top, finding a second. Plenty of players surviving too.
Ruffs is going to try do it again. This time, not down the vent, and instead it's a Boomich. It's a little bit chaotic. Carrigan comes in for the trade, and this A site gets overrun. Flamey's on a wrap, but he misses his opportunity, and now it becomes a bit of a liability. That there is a free kill for Mousesports. Missed Evan Molotov. It falls down the ladder by the tiniest bit. There's a little boost for Simple to go peeking on in. Well, he does hit the second time around, and this is going to be a save for Simple and Perfecto, right? You've gone for the force buy. They drop this smoke. That's a nifty little one-way that gives you vision down into the site and obscures you a little bit. Hugo, you throw this one all the time. Let's see if Perfecto is able to use it as well as I've seen you manage.
Yeah, this is dangerous, though, because, you know, as you mentioned, this is already looking like a save from the get-go with Simple falling out. And so if Perfecto died there, you know, that's going to be a gun lost. And NaVi really want to keep 3 intact. I say 3. Electronics only on a CZ. Hopefully he'll position himself to run back into A after the bomb explodes. And maybe there'll be something left behind the CT vent where Boomich died with Rops' AK. Interesting stuff. Like, I like how Rops goes fast out, looks for the pick, takes a the risk. Once he dies, mousesports are hoping he gets a kill so they can burst out hot off the back of it. But, whatever information transpired, whatever happens, he dies immediately, and karrigan just runs right out the vent with no fear. So, yeah, the flash may have blinded ropz, making things difficult, but good capitalization from karrigan, and mousesports just take over the A site.
One thing that I think is good for Mouse about having the player break is it was like a chance for like a mental reset, because it felt like, they were just a team that went from being really good to a sudden decline, and it's always hard to dig yourself out of that, right? And, that mental reset can come in a number of ways. Like for some teams, it's changing a player. For others, it's just having some time away. And I feel like having that month off to kind of, remind themselves who they are and what they've done and what they're capable of can mean a hell of a lot. And then the fact that you've got b.mas just sat on the bench, hungry, ready to play. Guys, I'll replace one of you if you ain't careful. That's a nice little incentive to really step it up as well.
What's cool about b.mas quickly is just the fact that, we've inside of this team, we've got two 30-year-old players being karrigan and Chris. And these guys, I'm sure, have had a lot of help in molding ropz into the absolute star that he is, coming in, as such a young and inexperienced player to Pro CS. And so, we've already got evidence that that can happen. So not only is it karrigan and Chris able to help b.mas if needed, but you got ropz there as well, who's proof in the pudding. He can say, whatever helped motivate him and help get him to where he is now, he can offer that same insight to b.mas. So yeah, I think it's an interesting move or addition, and we'll see how it progresses post-Cologne. But right now, this is the mousesports 5 that we know and we love, and they're heading in towards the B-bomb site.
Yeah, Flamey is wrapping around, and Simple's dropped another in the meantime. This is in danger of getting out of hand. ropz is lurking in through ramp, and he's got to do something huge, but the timing's going to be everything. Electronic now coming in, and ropz has seen him. There's another man in the lobby coming in on rotation. Will ropz be ready for another? That's Perfecto with the AK. And down here at the B-bomb site, it's bo3 digging them down, just holding on, not giving anything up. There's 7 seconds frozen in time, but he gets it, and Perfecto comes in with the trade. It's close, but NaVi snatched that round away. And Hugo, man, just to expand on what you were saying, I think that's something that I love about this mousesports organization. They love trying to bring up like these new talents within the squad. That was how ropz got so good. They basically did the same thing with Frozen. There's b.mas as well. And then even if you think like historically, ages ago, you've got a man like karrigan was given his first chance initially in like an A-list team by this mousesports squad years back, all the way at the start of his career.
And Frankie, we saw your question answered about NaVi boot camping. They're all 5 together.
They are all 5 together, which is great to see. My thing about mousesports, I'm wondering is, in my interview with Frozen, he says, oh, we got to the top from grinding from the bottom. They were never at the bottom. They came in, they exploded, they were always good. And that's why my concern, can they get themselves out of it? But it looks like it's pretty promising from watching what we've seen so far.
Yeah, this is a good start. NaVi winning an eco, though. I mean, add it to the list of low economy rounds in this game that have been won, more than not, funnily enough. So let's see if they, well, everyone's got guns now, so who knows? mousesports already a man down. Simple's got that AWP out. Heavy A side setup here for NaVi, and mousesports, they found their way in secret. We're seeing a similar setup to last round. Lobby players and secret players. mousesports use this to lurk out ramp, and ropz found success there shortly before dying to the deagle. But this time they might go up the vents into the A site with 2 still sitting towards lobby. It's a big risk considering that setup from NaVi. Perfecto here, Electronic nearby. bo3 smoked off, and so Perfecto's on an island right now. He's got to hold his own like we know he can. They almost line up. Good damage. bo3 through the smoke, the Mad Lab, but only one, and Electronic dropped by ropz towards the back of the vent. That's a great hold from mousesports on that A site, and the plant coming through. Simple and Flamey. Is it another save here for NaVi? It might have to be.
Yeah, they've been very, very good at dodging Simple, it feels like, right? Like, I don't think we've really had to see him, like, fend off against anyone just yet. And that's where he's in his element. So mousesports just kind of playing dodgeball here with Simple. And it will just be another one of these saves. Now, we've already seen a force bite get past mousesports. Ooh, Boxic, don't attempt that jump again, man. Simple is not the guy that you want to give many chances to. mousesports get a 4th. They get into that A site, splitting from the vents. ropz with 2 really nice entries. I'm loving what we're seeing from bo3 right now for NaVi. He was someone who, as I've kind of already said, in my opinion, became I don't want to say a liability. That's the wrong word. He is the IGL at the end of the day. But he became like a little bit scary, right? Like you never really knew what you were going to get out of Boomich. And now I know what I'm going to get. He's looking great. Also, look at that. Talk about mouse sports, man.
That's a rat.
I know, but come on, it wouldn't have worked. Rat sports. That's my team.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
You said it, not me.
That's Frankie Ward. Flamey over here at ramp, and he's about to get tested. Let's see what the Flamer can bring to the server. Flashes go in, and Flamey, oh, it's a bit chaotic. Oh no, the flash has him blind, and Rops is going to get the kill. Now Simple comes in, missed shot with the AWP, and Simple's got to get out of there with the Molotov falling at his feet. mousesports, they actually leave ramp. They pack it up, they pack it in. And they go back to beginnings here, as now they get it themselves over into lobby. Is Frozen going to see Electronic? His arm almost around the corner. Frozen just an inch away from seeing him. And there's the swing. Perfect timing for Electronic. Perfecto still a threat in the A bomb site, and he's dropped the bomb.
Bomb in the open, and Perfecto's just jiggling. He's just wiggling. They're not giving him a chance, and NaVi are going to instantly come in on those rotations. Simple, again, up through heaven, not needed in this round at least. It's the vent climb for NaVi that finds him the A site hold. Man, Electronic, that was so close, and I was wondering if he would even hit that timing. Frozen, he kind of freezes. He hesitates inside of main, waiting for his team to get ready to run out hut. He didn't want to go in too early, and with that, it's a bit of a problem as Electronic peeks out the perfect point for that kill.
Hey, we got some NaVi fans.
Lots more NaVi fans.
NaVi fans now stepping up to the plate. Look at this. They love the NaVi merchandise, man. They've got it on lock. I love that. Right, Simple. Let's see, man. The fans are on looking, mate. You've got to try and give us something spectacular here. They get down through these outside smokes. Woxic going to be the last man falling in line. And they want to try and get into B. Electronic is already here, posted up with this AK. He's going to have a pretty tall order ahead of him, but Electronic first kill. Oh, and another before he's dealt with by Frozen. Rops in the vent, neck and neck with Boomich. Oh, this is an awkward fight. Boomich doesn't know how awkward it is, but it's about to be very awkward indeed. Somehow Boomich has won that. No idea. Back up through the vent, and now it's just Frozen and Woxic with an even split for NaVi between either site. It's even odds. mousesports, they've dealt with Flamey, and now they've just got Simple left to worry about, but that's quite the man to worry about. Simple's dropped the bomb, and now it all falls onto Woxic.
Yeah, he's got to get close as well. But NaVi have grouped up with 3 on the ramp, and they are all ready to come in through together as soon as he makes noise. He could duck and dive back to the A site, but oh dear, that's a meaty flashbang. He can't see a thing, and they would have heard him drop as well. NaVi are timing a push. You can see them lining up, and they're going to go together. Great teamwork, trading 1 for 1. Simple waiting at the back just to stay alive, and NaVi are going to find 6 on this CT side.
All right, also, seeing the fan cams from mousesports has given me an idea. We need more pets on the broadcast. We need more. We need just whatever you got. You got lizards, we want them. You got dogs, we want them. You got rats, we want them. We want a bit of everything.
Yeah, what's
Dick insects? I'll take whatever.
What's the NaVi, national pet? Would it be a bear?
Yeah, I mean, that one might be a bit trickier to like bring on set, right? But yeah, if any of you folks over in the NaVi camp have access to one,
It's got to be a cat. It's definitely a cat.
Woo, well, Simple cat-like reflexes over here in Garage, helped out by Electronic. And, oh, Simple again. I tell you what, mousesports, they definitely don't have 9 lives. They've got 2, actually. It's Rops and it's Chris J. And they're only armed with these Glocks. So this round, it might be pretty stale from this point onwards. Let's see if Simple can give us any shots worth getting excited about.
Every shot's worth getting excited about when it's Simple, Harry.
And when mousesports have thrown these outside smokes, they've actually really gotten down unscathed. NaVi have yet to get those smoke kills. We saw Karrigan jump. Oh my! We saw Karrigan jump ahead of the smoke last round. Simple famed for watching atop the smoke and catching players doing exactly that. So didn't get punished then, but he will punish now. Rops with his deagle as well, doing damage. He sees so many players, but he still doesn't know about the man up close. He'll climb above. Flamey gets the kill instead. And it will even grab the AWP too. Chris can't get out the door, and NaVi will hold on to that anti-eco round. Very important, considering how these pistol rounds have often gone the way of mousesports. I mean, both teams have won ecos for sure. Very difficult shot to hit, but Simple, like always, makes it look easy.
That clip, I love seeing Electronic and Simple.
Poke his head out.
Man. Oh, look, we do have mob heads. We got a cat on scene now. Don't know how that's going to go down with the audience in the camera below, given that, you know, famously not the best of friends.
Bit of Tom and Jerry.
We've all seen Tom and Jerry, yeah.
Tom and Jerry, that's a cat and mouse. Rats, very clever. Different species.
So you're saying if Jerry was a... Wait, yeah, if Jerry was a rat, he would...
He would,
kill Tom.
I mean, the thing is, Jerry already outsmarts Tom all the time, right? But yeah, you're absolutely right. He would. He'd kill the cat.
Give him the
No
bubonic
mercy.
plague.
Something like that. That's the fleas. We need to, well, discuss the animals later, I think. I will be rating the animals, though. That cat, 9 out of 10.
Yeah? You think you're qualified to be rating people's pets, Frank? That's a slippery slope, I feel like. But let's see, you know, I'm down. I like lending my ear.
I have a
You've given us
university
a
degree.
pet
I'm
rate.
qualified.
That's true, okay. Well, let's see, Electronic. He's over here outside. I don't have the degree, but he's got a license to kill, and that's what he's possessing here. Trying to hold down this outside area. There's going to be a wall of smokes falling between garage and main. And Electronic looking to try and do something gross with it, but they've already gone past it. Perfecto up on the rafters, only good for one. Simple back in the A-bomb site. Are they going to finally give Simple a taste of the action? He takes down the first man, and now looking for a little bit more. Down goes Electronic. Woxic over here in main, and Simple swinging out. There's the peak from Frozen. Simple, another one, and now just Carrigan left. Simple's going to hear him drop down the vents, and now he's in hot pursuit. Carrigan running into this B-bomb site, but look at this. Simple tracking him down. The detective on the door, and Carrigan gonna try and swing it wide, but Simple with the no scope. 8 for NaVi, and we finally get the Simple showing.
That mind game, the whole time Simple's chasing, he's knifing the wall. He's like, that's so loud as well when you're hearing that as a player on the B site. And Carrigan's just thinking, he's chasing me, I can't stick this bomb. Fakes it, tries to push him back, and Simple just no scopes him up close. Not ready for that one, not in a million years. And yeah, you can even see it from Electronic's POV. Boy, oh boy.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anti-mask is up in arms there, but of course, that's great, man. Any more gas masks? You know, just anything cool, anything you want to show off, just put it on camera. You know, I love seeing all the faces, but my word, like, some of the stuff we're seeing from NaVi and Mouse is raising the bar for the fan cams. Carrigan out into the A site. Tries to go deep and instead goes down. It's now Rops, Deegan down, Flamey over here outside. That's left a 4-on-4 open. Look at Rops go. He's out towards ramp. And, well, he knows that Simple is often the man rotating in towards Hell, so he's just homed in. But Simple, how on earth is he's like calculated this one. I hadn't even seen him yet, but he knows, as Simple often does. However, while Rops is keeping his attention fixated at ramp, teammates are falling elsewhere, and this A site now becomes a bit of a problem. Boomich is on a lengthy rotation up through Secret. Simple up in heaven. What are you going to give us, Simple? Ooh, a little Deeg shot to the face from Woxic. And now Boomich alone has shut out Chris J and just has the Deeg King of Woxic left to find. And Woxic's going to nail the shot. So there we go. We have both the Orpas in the server showing up, but one with the Deeg, the other with his big green gun. And it's Woxic to come out on top right now.
mousesports should just play pistols, because when they buy rifles, they lose. And when they don't even force buy, but half buy, they win. I can't believe I talk about Carrigan and Rops' Deagle and don't even bring up Woxic. This guy is a tank, and he shows it in the server with 4. Oh boy, Simple even wallbang drops there on the ramp as we cut away to look at the A site. So he got him through the boxes, of course he did. And now NaVi, they've got to win an eco of their own. That is a crucial swing round that not only puts the money in the favor of mousesports, breaking NaVi's, but can give them the chance to get a really good T side. Not if Perfecto has anything to say about it though. Bomb dropped in the hut, 2 more. He's getting spammed from the A site. Rops, that is cheeky, and he's going to find himself the bomb back under the control of mousesports. Nice aggression from Boomich. Chris, looking the wrong way for a second, trying to hold on to the ramp player, almost gets caught by the double peak, but Rops is just bailing his team out, left, right, center, good night, he's gone, no ace, but it's still around for mousesports. I can't believe, you know, back-to-back 4Ks firstly from mousesports, but then look at this from Rops. Look at the kill through the hut, saving his teammate, getting the bomb back under control. The one man who could have done anything was Perfecto with that AK, and he just gets removed immediately.
Oh, look at this. We got a T-Rex. That's cool. That's a cool pet. That's probably my favorite one that we've had thus far. Oh, I don't see many of them nowadays. Let's see, though. Chris J. Not going to be the dinosaur of Mouse over here at the A site. Simple's gone aggressive at ramp and is actually pushed on in. Now, clears that close left side. Now just knows he can home in on the right. Rops is the man ready to go against him. I like this. This feels like a real clash of the titans here between Rops and Simple. Simple's going to fall on back, and Rops has heard a couple of footsteps there, so now aware that this player at ramp might have taken a more passive line. Now, it's important to note that Flamey's often been the man over here towards ramp side, so Simple could be, you know, like a bit of an unknown quantity, and this gives him the option to drop down into B, and that's exactly what he's done here and now. He's going to be holding down lower, even with the option to rotate through Secret and help out nice and quickly, maybe even deal with the outside players. That's if he's needed, though, and right now it doesn't feel like it. Carrigan and Rops doing what they can, and actually, Frozen's come in with another, so now bomb planted into this 2-on-2. Simple, the man who was on B, ready to come up through the vents, and Flamey's just cleared him a path. It all falls onto Carrigan, 1v2, but this man, he's pretty good in the clutch.
Oh, dear, he's got Flamey in the back. Does he know about Simple? The footsteps come through. Carrigan tries to bait the shot. Simple won't fall for it. Oh, it's a game of chicken. And Carrigan goes wide. The missed shot from Simple. It's mousesports with 7. That one Deagle round, that one 4K from Woxic sets them up perfectly. Carrigan capitalizes, and mousesports a pretty damn good half. 7 at the end of things. We know NaVi have a strong T-side on Nuke, though, so let's see if they can show that in the server in just a moment. Don't go anywhere.
Introduce me, I'm the renegade. Ooh, every single night, I crave the taste. It's the adrenaline running through my gait. It gets me high, high, high. Got no time to time for small talk. I tell you the truth, I'm fascinated you. I'ma tell you the truth, not in it to lose, just fascinated you. Look into my eyes, I'm not afraid. Take over my mind till it fades, like a medicine. It keeps me safe. This neon lights lead the way. Ain't got time for small talk. I tell you the truth.
It's the Boomich boys taking on the Carrigan crew here. NaVi versus mousesports, and we are as close as can be at the end of the first half of play. We got the beautiful Carrigan up on the screen here. Look at him having a big old sip of that water, having a great time. mousesports, they've done well in this first half of play over here on Nuke. NaVi, it's actually perfecto right now alongside the top of the standings with a man like Simple alongside him, and that's what we want to see. See, both these teams have the privilege of being at boot camp, and it looks like NaVi, they're playing in some nice loft or something like that. That's a nice little aesthetic, boys. I love it.
Wow, let's see what aesthetic they bring into this T side. We've already got a winner of the half for NaVi, but we know how good they can be on the T side of Nuke. Considering a CT-sided map, that's easier said than done, but for Simple, it's easier done than said. He's going to move outside with that P250. Boxing with the kit smoke up in heaven, trying to tap back. The molly just missing by an inch. He stands right behind the fire, but does he know that NaVi are right in front of him? Boomich is very quick to get in this position. It's already 125 and he's in heaven, so mousesports don't know just yet, but the longer that goes on, the more they assume. However, NaVi need to wait, or Boomich needs to wait on the rest of NaVi to get into position to set up for this A take. Still, Flamey left in the lobby. Woxic might look lower, but the shadow, oh, I think he should have seen it yet. Now he's prepared. Now he's ready for Boomich close on the rafters. But Boomich, if he peeks on top of this yellow rail, that could offset Woxic's crosshair. We'll have to see how this fight goes, and that's if Woxic even waits.
Oh no. Woxic tries to take the peek. The thing that's even more disastrous is he's the man with the kit. That's now dropped up in heaven. That is an awful place to have your kit get lost. And, you know, that's like assuming the bomb plant even plays into this round, which right now it might not even. Flamey on 2, looking for the triple, and Carrigan's just dancing around, trying to dodge Flamey, but you can't put this fire out. It's going to be a 9th for NaVi as the pistol round goes their way.
This already sets us up for a great T side here, right? Flamey kills 3 A players, and then NaVi go B. Like, oh dear, they're already playing with their food. They're already in the heads of mousesports. We always talk about, like, misdirection on Nuke. mousesports did it a little bit as well in the first half, right? Like dropping B and coming up the vents, etc. So that's a pretty standard way to go about it. NaVi doing the inverse, taking A and dropping B. It's going to work wonders. 9-7 here, and the scout out for Woxic. We saw him win a lot of force buys here for mousesports, or even ecos with this gun. Carrigan is burning to a crisp for 100-0. He thinks he's found safety on top of the hut. It is far from that. That's not the way you want to start here if you're mousesports. Boomich has even dropped through the vents after that kill and cleaned out lower. NaVi, they haven't taken the site yet. Their last man in defense is Rops.
He is in a very rough spot. Rops, what can he do from this position? Ooh. Down goes Electronic, but everywhere else. Oh, another. Rops. Ooh, that was almost a third. Chris J's taken it away, but Rops has done a great job, and he's looking for even more. Rops, what is this with the Deagle? He has completely demolished NaVi. Simple now in the 1v4, and he's going to require something even more special if he wants to pick this round up for NaVi. Down goes Rops. So Simple has dethroned the current king, and now he's got to show why he is CS royalty indeed. Smoke going to get dropped to facilitate the cross. Baiting shots from Woxic. Simple gets by. There's a man up on the rafters. Simple takes the fight to Woxic, but Woxic finds him. And that's an 8th round for Mouse as they steal it away.
Yeah, even if Simple got that next kill, there was a player right above him. So great shots from Rops.
Great camera angle, man. Like, I like to think this is how Rops like sees the world, you know, like because he's always in like places like Pop Dog on Train, right? He's always peeking over the top of things. So it's natural that that's the angle we get of him. That's the kind of angle that the enemies get.
Well, we did want to see more pets in the fan cams, and Rops, he's a bit of an animal with that Deagle. mousesports have just been banging on these ecos, and now NaVi have to win one of their own. I've said that 1,000 times, and I'm going to continue to say it because it's all we're seeing. Simple with the scout tagged outside as Woxic falls off with his. mousesports are very well armed in this round. Frozen's taking that AK-47. Robs is solo on the ramp, as is tradition. Flamey getting the door shut and moving away. he is holding lobby on his own. This is pretty standard, exactly how Na'Vi played the pistol as well, with one lurk inside, the rest of them in the yard. Woxic holding a very passive line, but this allows Na'Vi to get inside of main and be a bit of a nuisance if they want. They're going closer, they're going further, and with this double scope, this could be a real problem for Woxic. He's about to get sidelined. Oh no, the Tech 9, it's garbage at the best of times, but Electronic gets one. Trade is in, they know about the second. Rops deals with him as he peels away from the ramp room. That gives room for Flamey to take it, but what can you even do with it at this point? The bomb not under the hands of Na'Vi, and Rops is going more and more aggressive by the second. Oh, there's the kill from Flamey, but it might all be too little and too late.
I'd hate to be Rops there. It's like, guys, they are everywhere. Hello? Like, they're in ramp, they're outside. Like, where is everyone watching? And here we go, Simple and Flamey now in this 2-on-3. It's not going to be easy, but that's not to say it's impossible. Yeah, I see Flamey, I see Simple, and I believe. So let's see what they're able to get up to. It's 25 seconds left on the clock. Time is a bit of a problem. They go back for this bomb that was all the way over here outside, and they've been very, very sneaky. But in doing so, they've been very, very slow. Frozen is really the man who can make all the difference here. He's the lone defender at A. If he gets one and dies, even that gives Na'Vi a chance. So really, we need both, and there's the first. Flamey tagging him up, but Frozen's bought enough time for Chris J to come in on the rotate, so he plays that perfectly. mousesports get 9, and now it is just that eco for Na'Vi.
I love how passive he plays there as well, even maybe to do with the fact that the time is down to 10 seconds. He's just trying to live as long as he can, and he tanks a couple of shots in through the vent, down to 7 health. Doesn't matter, his teammates bail him out, and mousesports, they're going to keep up appearances here on this CT side. This is turning into such an exciting game, as we kind of expected, as we hoped. But this round will be a bit of a different one. It's just Glocks for Na'Vi. We did see Kusta yesterday on an eco like this, in this map, go outside and get an eco ace, starting with a Glock 2K. But I don't think Na'Vi are going to be as fortunate, especially not with his AWP on Woxic, finding first blood and looking for a little bit more. Now it's Na'Vi's turn to bait some shots out, but they're going to be unsuccessful. Frozen swings out wide, great spray, and even gets a third as well, locking down the anti-eco, taking double digits and the lead with it.
Rops is just really delivering right now, and I'm very, very happy about that. You know, you look over at Na'Vi, and I think the moment we're all waiting for is this moment, which is, you know, they get the rifles out, they've got everything they need, and now we get to see what, you know, the kind of perfect little duo of Simple and Electronic have up their sleeve here. Moving into the T half of play. Going to be a bit of an outside presence here for Na'Vi. Rops is looking to test the waters with some ramp aggression. The flash goes in and Flamey's blind. That spam kind of gives up the aim of the game, and he knows that that flash has worked. Rops opening this round up with a kill, and this is huge for Mouse. They've got lobby control. Like, they know that Na'Vi are going outside because they physically cannot be anywhere else. And so this kind of shoehorns Na'Vi. They're now faced with two decisions. Do they go back and retake lobby, or do they just commit to outside, knowing that all that information has gone in favor of Mouse? As a result, mousesports, they've fallen very, very passively back into A, and with 2 players down on B, they are poised. They are ready for whatever comes their way. And as long as they trade evenly here at the B bomb site, they should be able to hold on. That smoke goes down, and it sends Na'Vi packing. That's a little bit upsetting for the Na'Vi squad.
mousesports are looking fresh, man. They're looking ready to frag because, you know, that was a nice little take. Even if Rops dies there, or if there are more Na'Vi players in the lobby, right after he gets that kill, Karrigan and Chris also flash in through the hut. So it was a two-pronged attack into the lobby, and all the info in the hands of mousesports. Boomich, though, doubling down. Knowledge is power, but power is also power. He's going to take down two in secret, forcing heavy ramp rotations towards B. Woxic didn't see Simple on this lurk. He's going to be calling for his team to get the hell out of here. There's a heavy B setup right now, with only Karrigan remaining on that top site by the squeaky door. Simple might be able to get rid of this position as well if he times this flank to perfection. Coming up the ladder, 15 seconds, Karrigan might have to go for a heroic smoke push here if he wants to stop the plant. It's worth the risk, but Electronic is waiting. Great cover for his teammate. Boomich planting for Simple in upper, and now Woxic and Rops a long way from home, rotating in from the ramp room, have to retake a 2-on-3.
Yeah, I remember a certain Woxic and Rops clip, though, here at the A-bomb site, though. So let's see, right? I always have some kind of faith on these guys when they're in this man-down situation. Let's see. Woxic armed with only an MP9. He's traded out. And he's looking to get stuck in. Now Simple up on the rafters represents a bit of a problem. Woxic does come in and help his teammate out. Follows up onto bo3 as well. Trades onto the AK. Electronic over in main. Woxic not able to cross into the site. So NaVi, 10 on the board. It comes down to a 1v1 from a 3-on-2. They still get it over the line.
That round is all electronic, right? Karrigan, he knew that as much as he didn't want to go through that smoke, he could win the round if no one was watching it. If he has a chance, he should take it. And even though electronic covers stopping him, as well as that, the bomb's planted for Heaven. Simple's fighting from rafters. He gets traded, and then electronic has to stop the cross to the site. If he lets that player get behind the silos, he can just stick the bomb. Woxic can win the round off of the defuse. So important couple of kills there for electronic. And now it's going to be NaVi bouncing back with a T-sided round. mousesports' little 3-round streak is short-lived. But there is a big difference in the fact that they took control of the economy to start the CT side. If you compare that to NaVi's back and forth force buys in the first half, sometimes going their way, sometimes not. And well, the difference here, mousesports, they win 3 gun rounds in a row, and now they have a double AWP even after they lost the last. So they are well armed and dangerous, but this is going to be their money bottoming out if they don't win this round. That's the case for either team. So a lot of pressure in round number 21 as the smokes land outside.
The decision that mousesports have made here is something where it looks like they're trying to have like a read as to what's going to happen in this round. They immediately drop chrsJ through vents. They have Frozen leave main entirely and take up a position over here in Garage. And so already they're kind of like leaning more towards this B site. And NaVi, it's not looking like a B play. Woxic, oh goodness,
no, he's so blind.
Smokes missed and he didn't even realize because he's blind as a bat. Frozen does open with one. Simple dealing with Karrigan in the meantime. At chrsJ up through the vent. This is actually a very nice collapse back into the A site from Mouse, but is it going to be enough? Flamey dealing with Woxic.
No.
Rops missing the shot, and that leaves it all on Chris. 1v2. Bomb dropped over here right in his eye line. Flamey and Electronic left to overcome. There's certainly a chance for chrsJ, but that's all it is. Does have this bomb with only 10 seconds left. NaVi are under pressure to retrieve it. chrsJ trying to play the timing, trying to waste as much time as he can off that clock. And he knows now that this bomb has to go down. It's going to get planted just in the nick of time. He's dealt with Flamey and now Electronic in the 1v1. chrsJ ring around the roses. And Electronic wasting time, but there's no fighting chrsJ as he deals with the 1v2 and picks up the round for Mouse.
And that's why chrsJ is on this team. The experience showing through, man. Like, you could see how he was calculating that. He didn't want to take the fight. He knew that time was in his favor, and NaVi desperately wanted the kill. They realized he wouldn't give it to him. They crossed to the site for the plant. Chris flashes out, takes a kill, and wins the one-on-one as well. Great work from him. Just the fact that he stays alive inside of door, instead of going for those fights on A. Give him NaVi a bit of money thanks to the bomb plant, and they'll be keen to invest around it. But mousesports, again, taking back the lead. Only just, though. Remember, they bought into a double AWP. They only get to save one, but it's not the end of the world. Nuke, not really a requirement to see those 2 AWPs. It does free up, obviously, someone to just sit back and relax at ramp and hold that long sight line where you have another in the garage or deep CT as Woxic often plays. I love this camera angle. It's so good.
Oh, man, I love it.
Robin just staying cool, dude.
Yeah.
Sweaty stuff for NaVi, but smiles all around. They're still feeling confident here. Another force buy, and boy, this is a big risk as well. They've got, I saw them buy up a hero AK on Simple. I didn't know they would fully invest around it, but hey, what have NaVi got to show for us? Lots of grenades, looking like an upper take. Let's see if this goes well for them.
Yeah, Mouse look more than ready for it. This hot molly can force chrsJ out of position. Indeed, it's going to have to. He's getting burnt in it. He will perish in the flames, but he does get one before that. And Karrigan up here on the rafters makes quick work of that hero AK on Simple. It never even gets to fire a shot, so it's a very, very clean round for mousesports. 3 for Karrigan, everyone else chiming in. And now there's no money for NaVi. That kind of coming as a consequence of the decision to go for the hero AK force buy in that round there.
Yeah, leaves them with Deagles, leaves them with the chances. We know how these rounds have gone, but yeah, mousesports' A-hold has been really nice. We liked NaVi's on the CT side with that vent collapse and a lot of A retakes. Well, mousesports have one-upped that to a strong degree as well. So it's been really nice to see them, on this A-bomb site. 12-10, the eco for NaVi. chance for mousesports to get that one step closer to taking their map pick in this series. What a victory this would be as well, considering we know NaVi's history on this map, how much success they've had in tournaments like this. Simple, that's a great shot, saving his teammate's life as Chris gets aggressive through the squeaky door. It's at least an SMG given over, but it's not the end of the world. We know Chris to take the hit when it comes to the low weapons and give his teammates the rifles. True team player in that sense. Right now, mousesports just need to sit back, relax, and wait for the T's to come to them.
That's just about keeping things in check at ramp. And now NaVi, just Simple and bo3 in a 2-on-4. Not the ideal, well, now just Simple in the 1v4. But, he deletes Carrigan. There's the trade from Frozen, and it's kept under control. mousesports reach 13. And now we have a buy round coming for NaVi, but it could be one of the final buy rounds they're going to have here on Nuke, unless they right their wrongs pretty damn quickly.
Yeah, only 2 rounds on this T side. That's the crazy thing, right? They win the pistol, a really nice pistol. mousesports upset with a force and a streak of 3. NaVi have to rely on a clutch to get their first rifle round. And since that point, it's been all mousesports. Will the tide change? NaVi, they're infatuated with A right now. More utility going in early. If they go for a set piece A in the first 20 seconds of the round, mousesports have been so good at locking this down time after time. They're triple set A pretty much every single round. And so that's a big risk if NaVi want to take it, rather than, you know, go for this classic illusion rather and take outside, get a wrap in, try and take secret, even come back up to A after that. Something mousesports were doing commonly. And so NaVi, yeah, they're going to go for the smokes. Far more standard stuff, far more successful, can get them into positions, you know, down in B, force rotates away from A, regardless of the site that they end up at. Right now, it does still look like an A take, given the lobby control. And yeah, Electronic, he's not playing behind the smokes. He's actually creeping close towards main. It's deep smokes, which allows him to get into the garage. Woxic is watching this from CT. Rops' second orb, firing off pot shots as well. NaVi trying to take ramp, and they're walking into a double setup.
Yeah, Rops just gets out of there. He gets that 1 kill and rotates away. Now, ramp is taken by NaVi, but Flamey getting out through squeaky door could throw a bit of a spanner in the works. It's only a tag from Woxic. Frozen wants the trade, but Flamey's not in the business of giving that up. Chris J will hold on to the A site, and he's dropped the bomb. bo3 is waiting for the rotation back up ramp from Rops, and Electronic is also here as well. Now, this is all well and good, but they have to get into the A bomb site. They're going to try and split it from Heaven and Hut, and for Chris J, he just has to hope he picks the right spot at the right time. He's just looked away, but he goes back to Heaven, and that might make all the difference. bo3 with the bomb, but only 5 seconds. He deals with the first, and there's Rops with the trade. mousesports, 14 to their name.
Harry, you highlighted Rops as your player to watch, and boy, did you hit the nail on the head. This guy is absolutely on another level right now. Locking down ramp, they rotate back into A to win the one-on-one, and Chris has been holding his own in every important round as well. Look at this double kill, despite Flamey's best efforts at getting entries out onto A. NaVi, they may have forced a lot of players away from that top site, but it's not going to matter. mousesports on the edge of victory, 14 to 10. And NaVi's money kaput. No bomb plant either. That's not the spot they want to be in. They're relying on loss bonus. They might even have to, you know, play for OT here potentially. Although if I know NaVi at all, I wouldn't be surprised if they fully force in and throw caution to the wind. Even they are still making that decision, it seems. Nothing coming through, just a smoke. Expecting some pistols here. They have the loss for it. And yeah, that's it. Pistols, a bit of utility. It's actually a decent buy for NaVi. They've got a good amount of utility to get those outside smokes in if they do so, please.
Ooh. I want to attempt that again, Electronic. He might as well. Woxic over here outside. I haven't really seen, you know, Woxic having to do much with this AWP either outside. Like, a lot of the time, whenever they have taken it, it's just been with the smokes, right? And that's pretty, like, bread and butter. Feels like the AWP has to play into the mid-round as opposed to out of the gate. And Moxic's just going to keep holding down this outside area. Now, something that's important to note here is that Rops is no longer at ramp. And in fact, not just is he no longer at ramp, no one's at ramp. They're stacked heavily towards outside and A. And this could be the perfect read for mousesports in this round. Perfecto will deal with Carrigan and follows up with the Tech 9, but the rotations are already in. It's another for Perfecto, but that's not enough, it looks like. Simple left in a 1v2, 10 points of health. He knows that both players are on A, and so he is barreling into this B bomb site. He's going to be able to get the bomb down, and that's at least a bit of extra money. But to actually win this, the odds so stacked against him. Woxic almost giving up the end of the game at ramp. That's when Rop swings wide and deals with Simple. 32 kills in this game and securing a 15th for Mouse in the process.
Just the collapse on A, man. Like wave after wave of mousesports players pushing in through that main smoke, trying to deal with the fast rush. Chris buys an SMG, which is the perfect weapon for Navi's buy, considering the lack of head armor, but he only gets 1 kill from it. Nice Tech 9 shots from Perfecto, finding 3, but unfortunately there's not enough. And you can see how aware Simple is. As soon as he gets that bomb plant, even though Rops opens the door, putting a lot of pressure on, Simple knows he's not going to get immediately swung, and so he turns around and almost hits Woxic's head coming from the ramp. He's so ready for the fact that mousesports are going to try and double face him, but unfortunately for him, it does not go his way. 15-10, and this is it. This is do or die for NaVi. It's been so long since they found rounds on this T side. It's now or never.
Electronic survives the journey, but actually doesn't. It's you know, it's the old fable. He gets by the first set of danger, only to find himself, you know, out of the frying pan and into the fire that is Secret. So now a 4-on-5 for NaVi, backs against the wall and 1 away from having Nuke elude them. Simple.
Oh my.
Simple. Frozen's like just about ducked beneath the danger. Ooh, that would have been spicy.
We've seen Simple hit those, even with the scout. But not today, not in this lifetime. And right now, the lifeline for NaVi might be on a very thin rope indeed. mousesports tugging at the strings, not a single point of damage received. A 5-on-4 up. NaVi again putting pressure on the squeaky door, but mousesports have had no issue with dealing with these upper takes. Frozen's going to get mollied out, but no one peeks. Flamey is late to the angle after throwing that Molotov, and so Frozen just swings out wide. They even smoke it. That is illusion at best. Flamey now thinks there's still a player behind the vent, and it couldn't be further from the truth.
Chris J up on top of the hut. He's been so key in these last few rounds, but this one, he's going to solidify. He takes the win for Mouse, 16-10, as they get Nuke locked on in. And this series, Hugo, gets that much more exciting as a result.
Spicy stuff, yeah. I mean, that is a really fresh-looking mousesports. I loved some of the lobby crunches. Those A-holds were excellent, and mousesports in control right now. We move to NaVi's map pick. Let's see if they can bounce back in just a moment.
Time always talks about all the other guys. Will I ever understand? Without her, it's not fair. I need you back. No more crying at the end. I'll do it again.
Welcome back to ESL One Cologne. We're one map into our series, mousesports versus NaVi. And Mouse had a bit of a point to prove coming into this one. Was it a good idea to step away from the game during the play break and come back refreshed? And they definitely proved that actually maybe it's not such a bad idea to maybe get some sun, go outside once in a while, Harry.
No, right, and that's perfect. I think we look at like the context of not just in this matchup, but for mousesports as a whole. In my opinion, they seem like a team that when they're riding that wave, when things are going right, it's so easy to keep replicating it, right? And then all it took was like that one little stumble, like that they start winning everything towards the end of 2019. They come into 2020, they win the Ice Challenge, things are looking good, they place okay in Pro League, and then it's like, oh, just boom, sudden fall off. Yeah. All falls apart, and they never recovered. So now they've had a month of like mental reset, you know, kind of like taking some time away. And I think if they come into this series and they look really good out of the gate, well, that's how we get the mousesports that we know and love back in the server. You know, that's how we get that confidence back. That's how we have them looking good. And speaking of looking good, I mean, you can't even say the phrase without mentioning a guy like Rops. He was absolutely incredible. 122 ADR, 33 kills, and this isn't versus, you know, just anyone. This is versus Simple and Co, you know, the best player in the world, that guy that we all know. Rops just absolutely showed up in this map, and I'm so excited that we've got him like this in the server right now.
Yeah. Go right ahead.
I was just going to say, you know, it's the best example of you know, players taking breaks. Right, we talked about Frozen and Rops both not touching the game for a month. Well, I don't think we can really put much doubt in that now, considering the performance that Rops comes in straight out the gate with.
I mean, I was just about to mention before I rudely interrupted you, Hugo, that the interesting thing with Mouse is on that first half, when they had rifles, they seemed to throw it away. And yet you put a dig in their hand and it's like they've got nothing to lose, nothing to prove. The odds are against them. And that's why they seem to be able to make it work in their favor, Harry.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's like the thing, right? Is like even if you look at like any kind of formally led Carrigan team, that seemed to be the case. It's like the moment things feel like there's a lot of pressure, ooh, that's where they get a little bit worried. But yeah, no, those like pressureless situations, Mousesport looks so comfortable in. And you know, it's going to be the case that they try and build back up to us looking at them as favorites in these matchups and stuff like that. And that's what I can't wait to see. You know, how can they deal with the pressure this time around if we eventually get there?
One thing that we didn't get to see too much of on Nuke was the Simple show.
Yeah.
But you know what, NaVi, slow starts to a tournament. They love a tradition. This is one of theirs. The first half, though, perfecto. We're seeing the gentleman on screen ably anchoring the A site there. 4K opening up that pistol round. It feels like this man's so at home on the CT side, disappears in the other half.
Yeah, I mean, the entirety of NaVi did. The CT side was good. Yeah, 8 rounds is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But the T side, they get 2 rounds, one of them being the pistol, they get forced upon. I'd love to see NaVi go back to more outside takes, right? I feel like they had so many upper hits, so many force buys, running it back as they often do. And for a team like NaVi, they always succeed with stuff like that. But not here, not today. They kept digging themselves a hole with the Tech 9s. Even though Perfecto had a great game, it's just not enough.
But there's potentially 2 more maps. We're definitely going to train next. That is NaVi's map pick, but we know Mouse love it too. So stick with us, because in just a few minutes, we're going to be heading to train to see if Mouse can make this a 2-0.
Are you the biggest CSGO fan? Then look out for the DHL Drop Quiz and show off your incredible CSGO knowledge. Reply with the right answer in Twitch chat and track your position on our live leaderboard. Will you make it to the top and win €1,000 in prizes? Hashtag Gamers Unite.
Intel Gamer Days is on now. Whether you're looking to buy or build, now is a great time to upgrade. Get limited time offers and giveaways from top names in PC gaming. Unleash elite gaming performance with systems featuring new 10th gen Intel Core processors, and bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game optimizations for a mightier PC experience. Act now. Intel Gamer Days is only here for a limited time.
You ready? Huh? Hey, he's a good boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
If you want to know what you're good at and, well, also what you suck at, check out csgohub.com. Coming!
Stick around just for sound, be visible. But you don't know, you don't care. Leave me to suffer, erase all the doubt. Pouring Jack in my mouth, and a love with.
ESL One Cologne Online is brought to you in part by Intel, Mountain Dew Game Fuel, DHL, and GGBet.
Welcome back to ESL One Cologne. We're on to map number 2 of mousesports versus NaVi, and we're going to be heading to train. It's a favourite map of both of these teams. And on Nuke before the break, NaVi failing to kind of find ideas on their T-side, Hugo.
Yeah, I think it's worth noting that in history, when we look at NaVi versus mousesports as a matchup, and this has been a rivalry for some time, NaVi have actually never beaten mousesports or Nuke over 4 games. We saw that stat earlier on there. And if you flip the script, you look at Train, with the exception of the Gamers Without Borders, which was a charity event, MR12, so we can put an asterisk on it. In the 3 games NaVi versus Mouse on Train, mousesports never been beat NaVi. So I think this really sets us up for a 3-map series. That being said, Rops is looking to do everything in his power to deny that.
Yeah, and something else, right, is that Woxic was looking really good as well. He finished 2nd for Mouse, and, you know, I think now getting to see Woxic versus Simple, with us already knowing that Woxic is playing well, makes this a very exciting game of trade indeed. We're ready to get this 2nd map underway. That's what the music means. It's Train, it's NaVi, it's Mouse, and mousesports sit 1-0 up right now.
Here we go, lads. Here we go.
CT side start for mousesports, where all things are good and comfortable. Couple of smokes as well. Zeus on Robs. This is mad. What is this buy? He's going to sit close to ramp with the Zeus. We see him here with the Deagle a lot on low economy rounds because you could just spam it and do 50 and 2 and take down players with only a couple of shots. But with a Zeus in the pistol, that is a bit of a gamble. I love to see it.
That's so weird. Like, I like it, but that means that, like, what, Chris J's dropped it over?
Yep.
That's so odd, man. Dropping a Zeus in the pistol. I mean, I want it to work because it's mad, but it definitely shouldn't. And I'll be kind of upset if it does, especially if NaVi never even hit the B site, which certainly looks like it's going to be the case right now. It's going to be NaVi creeping in through Ivy and Main. Looking to be a bit of a pain here. Simple on the entry. Flash goes round. Carrigan's off the angle. Going to try and take that back up now. Spots Electronic, but he doesn't know that Simple is already out. Whoa. And Electronic dispatches of Carrigan with ease. Frozen is over here in Pop, while Rops is dropping in up above, but actually gets dropped himself by Flamey. And now they've just heard that USP.
Tried to go back up.
Trying to, but he couldn't reach the ladder. And down goes Chris J. Oh. Frozen falls. And NaVi, they get the pistol.
Despite that bit of a blunder from Flamey, that's an excellent start from Electronic. He picks up the P2K after that kill down Ivy and just tip-taps Carrigan back, and one more to follow. NaVi with a pistol round certainly bodes well, but we've already seen this same situation on the T side of Nuke. And, well, mousesports, they forced bought in the 2nd, and they picked it up as well. So don't count them out here, Frankie.
I'm going to count them out on this one.
Hey, you know, that's your funeral, and maybe NaVi's too. We'll have to see.
It is my funeral indeed, actually, because we've seen Mouse, they've got the trademark Deagles in hand. Woxic doing amazing things on that scout in the conversion round in the first map, so maybe I'm going to be eating my words just about now.
So damn close. So damn close. The timing was almost there, Frankie. We all heard it. We all saw it. But sadly, the aim punch there was what betrayed Woxic. As he's about to nail that shot, his aim gets sent to the stars. Well, Stralis nowhere to be found. Chris J not going to give us a Bubsky-esque performance over here in Pop either, as it's a bit of a barbecue. Flamey burning him out, living up to his name. Carrigan does come in with a Deagle in response, and now we have this 4-on-4. Smoke going into the A site, and one down here at Ivy. That nade finds good damage. Simple goes through the smoke and actually wraps into CT. mousesports are surely not going to be ready for that, so Simple could do a hell of a lot. He deals with Woxic. I didn't know if Frozen was looking up or down then. I thought he was looking at the sky. That was confusing.
Wow. It's not very blue out here in the train yard, sadly. It's a murky day.
Oh, well, Frozen. Murky waters as he sits up in heaven. But this man is looking to be anything but angelic. As the first dropped, followed up onto by Boomich. And this round's over, Hugo.
Yeah, I'm already starting to see good stuff from NaVi, which I liked, right? Like that CT side was pretty decent back on Nuke, but their T side is what fell flat with only 2 rounds. So kicking off with early T rounds, grasping the economy, hopefully going 3-0 up here, considering mousesports should be eco. You know, this is NaVi back in control of this map, at least for the time being. Remember, Dust 2 is the finale to this series. A very good map for NaVi as well. So the pressure is on mousesports to take a 2-0 here. It's not going to be that easy, though. Yeah, Chris, I'm not sure what happened. He had a smoke for the molly. I think he's just expecting someone to peek him with that Molotov while he's burning. He's making a lot of noise and hoping that, okay, if I get peeked, I kill one, I die in the fire, that's fine. That's a good trade on a round like that. But yeah, never to be peeked, and instead he just gets roasted. 2-0 for NaVi, and the USPs are out and about. Oh, it's a classic.
I wonder if that's a tactic that Chris J used from like his mentor, Parla Gilroyson, actually. I think I've seen him do that molly strat in pop before. We got a little stack here. That's pretty, well, I was going to say pretty cool. It's just like 4 dudes standing together having a good time. Now, are they going to continue to have a good time? That's the problem, right? Electronic is here, and he's going to get flashed in by... Oh, goodness. Oh, this,
got 2 playing anti-flash.
This is going to be rough. Flash goes in, no peek yet. Now they're all on the angle, and they're like, haha, yeah, we dodged the flash, but that might not matter. That might not matter. Oh, goodness. Well, they do get one. It's nice. Now they dismantle, they swarm, they group up, but you have to run the gauntlet versus Electronic, and he's not going to let you retrieve this rifle. Down goes the stack, and it's only Rops left. Eagle in hand, 1v4. Pretty tall odds stacked against him. I love his Deeg. That's the code red right there. Let's see if he's got any agency in this round.
NaVi is stalling, so Flamey could go grab that AK-47 off the body of Simple, upgrading from the SMG, but now they know exactly where he is. Bomb dropped, smoke down. Not the best smoke. If anything, that's like a walkway for Robs to get out into pop, or at least that side, but of course he doesn't know that no one from NaVi lurks there. Not keen to rush this one as the bomb plant eventually comes through. Another on top of the train. Maybe he spotted it, maybe it was called, but it's now been put away anyway. I'm pretty sure someone will have said that. With a player in heaven and another one on the wraparound to deny a save. This is a done deal for Robs. He just doesn't know it yet. It's all about how many can he take down with him. And honestly, he's buying up next round anyway, so this Deagle save won't really make a damn difference. He's hoping that someone hunts him and he can get an AK instead. And he's just going to run into the site. Nice shot. Takes down Flamey. No time for the bomb. He will perish. But that's a good round for Robs. He does some damage. He puts NaVi only on 2 surviving. So technically not too profitable of a round for them. But they don't need it to be. The money is in high supply for Natus Vincere, as it is for mousesports. Carrigan coming back in with an AUG. This is a bit of a classic. We love to see him on back Ivy in Old Bomb with this weapon scoped in towards the site. And of course the AWP out on Woxic as well.
I want to see if Woxic can keep up his nuke performance, because he was looking good there. And Simple hadn't really had a lot of time to like get stuck in with the AWP yet. You want to catch Simple as he's approaching that near demonic form that we're used to. You know, you don't want to let him get into his final stage of evolution before you take him on. Woxic, he's posted up over here towards main. Frozen this time down in a pop. That molly forces him back, but Frozen, living up to his name, isn't going to melt under the pressure of that Molotov, and he's allowed to stick around here. Carrigan, close to the smoke, dealing with Electronic. That's the Ivy player gone now. While this is happening, Flamey and Boomich are slowly but surely looking to get a bit of progress in at B, and they actually get spotted, or at least Flamey does. Rops here as well, and Boomich saw him on the ladder, definitely did, but he gets flashed by his teammate, almost a disaster. Chris J flashing over in the meantime leads to Rops going down. Chris closing the distance, deals with Boomich. Frozen's up through pop. This round is chaotic. Frozen now is either the thing that makes or breaks this round. Oh, there's the flick on a Perfecto. That's what he needed. He was getting wrapped. And now he's got this bomb trapped outside of B. They boost Simple up to try and deal with Frozen. But he's hidden back in the showers, raining down death right now. Flamey falls and Simple down through Pop Dog. Bomb on his back, 20 seconds left. Carrigan, long distance shooting, and he's going to pick it up. So mousesports, they get that first round on the board here and now, nice and early.
Oh, that's excellent stuff. That's like so akin to what we saw yesterday from Bubsky and S-Tag, you know, climbing up the ladder and Pop Dog being a nuisance, getting in the back line and cutting off the bomb. Even though, you know, the bomb had already made its way to B halls, mousesports had that info. They'd won the first fight, they'd lost the first fight there, and therefore rotated double players into B. NaVi knew they were walking into a stack. They tried to escape through Pop Dog. It gets denied by Carrigan. Messy, but he gets the job done. NaVi calling out their first pause early into this map as well. They know their economy is also on the line. Simple getting gifted an AWP. There's not a lot they can buy up around it. A couple of guns at most. So NaVi already looking to put that AWP in the right hand. Simple last round was setting up flashbangs to try and help out his pop player of Boomich, who was attempting to burn out Frozen, but unsuccessful thanks to his smoke. So the early utility really found nothing. If anything, it came back to haunt NaVi later with a ladder flank. So let's see if Simple goes a little more aggressive and tries to take kills away with this AWP. He's moving up Ivy earlier. Woxic is holding the line with his AWP. Very standard angle for Woxic. Carrigan close towards T-Con as a result. Simple's going to get run boosted in.
Alley-oop. Over he goes. Woxic on the other side. And a smoke down. A no-show for Simple and Woxic just yet. Perfecto. Oh, not ready for the repeat from Frozen. Now that you've seen Frozen, though, in main, you know that Pop is likely clear. This is normally his domain. They drop down into it, but he follows up with a nade, and so that's going to send them packing from Pop Dog. Still with this 2-2 split for Mouse, but eventually approaching the kind of timeline where they reconsider that and they move Chris J back in through CT to hold on to Ivy. That frees up Frozen and Woxic to hold on to main and Pop. Ooh, we're going to need to see something special here. Frozen close, playing almost in like this anti-flash with Woxic drawing the attention away, and then Frozen close by, but Simple is ready. Fast on the trigger. Woxic plucking Boomich out of thin air. 30 seconds now for Simple if he wants to have a chance in this round, and he's leaving the bomb. He's running for the hills. He's getting away. He's holding on to the AWP. So mousesports, they respond with a second round.
That's a heartbreaker for Simple as well. That first player who jumps through the air, crosses in main and Woxic kills, clearly must have got the info onto that close position for Frozen, because Simple immediately repeats it. Or maybe he's just very aware. That's also an option. But yeah, it seemed like he had that information, and one trade from Simple, but unfortunately not enough. It's one of the 2 kills NaVi get in the round, and right now they are falling silent since their early 3. The money matching that as well. 2K a player with the exception of Simple. And yeah, definitely Flamey saw Frozen up close, especially with his barrel poking out. Great shots from Woxic. You mentioned that he was looking good back on Nuke. We didn't really need him to do a whole lot with the AWP, but here he is coming alive at the right time. The Simple solo saved a WP with no cash in the reserves, has to do it all here if NaVi want any chance. It's pretty much the right round to hit B, send Simple flying down the ramp, or have him holding upper to assist on connector rotates. He might actually get a peek in here. Rops is playing aggro on the rafters, but not swinging just yet. Let's see how patient he is. No utility at all for NaVi. And of course, you know, if Woxic takes a shot, regardless of hit or miss, Rops can peek off the back of it. So it's down to whether Simple continues to hold this line. He has repositioned the barrel. Oh, it's going to give him away. Luckily enough, Flamey takes the shot in the legs. Rops peeks out and kills the one man with the armor. AWP traded over to Boomich, and Rops falling off for a second. He gets traded after one more, but he set his team up for success in a 4-on-3.
Is Boomich going to try the shotgun drop? That's what I'm wondering. No, he decides against it. He was walking towards Pop Dog. I thought it was with purpose, but I think that's pretty ballsy. He takes it back over towards B. Chris J and Woxic still here. That AWP ready and waiting in Woxic's hands, and it's always so scary when he's the man with it. Pretty big boots for Boomich to fill. Oh, here comes the push. Chris J's heard the footsteps. Missed shot from Woxic, and uh-oh, now he could be a bit of a liability, but Woxic, oh, he's been able to save the day. Double kill, still alive, and oh, Woxic with 3. P2K, he holds on to B single-handedly, misses with the AWP, but the fact that they're armorless, it isn't eco for NaVi, means he deals with them brilliantly. And that's always the danger, right? No matter if you're getting a couple of kills here and there, you don't have the right equipment to sustain that kind of fight. And so Woxic swapping out to the sidearm, pistol whips NaVi out of the round.
Yeah, this is like the 1v1 we had yesterday between Nork and Alexi B, maybe on the B side of Train. The lack of armor for Chris is also a problem. He has no helmet, so dinked immediately by Perfecto. Wow, talking of immediate, look at this play from NaVi. They've finally done it. We were waiting for the quick A rush, and the results are there. All it took was guns in their hands and bullets in the head of mousesports. Frozen whiffing the spray, and with that, the round might follow in the favor of NaVi. Nice shot from Rops, but is it all too late? You can see NaVi are already fanning out towards that B bomb site. Robs is trying to rotate, but they're already here. Simple hunting them down. Robs knows he can hear them inside of B, but he has his back turned. Oh dear, almost a whiff. But luckily, knife in hand, Robs can't react in time. Simple hunts down the AWP and saves it for himself. Big play from NaVi. Yeah, they'd had enough of waiting around, Harry, and going for these split plays on the A site or grouping for B executes. They just had to have the utility, right? Molly on the bomb train forces, lots of players into the open. Boomich getting that kill as the smoke on Ivy appears. Great entries from NaVi. Are they going to do it again, though?
They throw the same utility, and they try and make it look like they're going with the same pace, but they're not in this round, right? They're starting to actually clear outside of B. So this might just be a B play, especially with Flamey dealing with Rops down towards B ramp. Molotov going to force Frozen back out of Pop Dog. Once again, he's given a little bit of room here. Might be wondering why he drops the smoke, what feels like early, even though he's fine. It's not uncommon for, as that Molotov finishes, like the moment it finishes, teams then try and immediately drop, expecting you, to be ready with some kind of utility there, or like we see Frozen doing, like stood with the smoke out. So they try and catch you. Plus you think about someone like Alexa B yesterday, where he just hops down through the Molotov.
I love that play. When you drop in your teammate's molly, it's so smart. Obviously taking less damage than your own, and the last thing your opponent's expecting. So many genius ways of taking Pop Dog. I mean, if you want to see more of that Astralis game, yesterday versus Fnatic is certainly worth a rewatch, but right now, we might see a little bit more from mousesports in this one. Paragon in the corner, letting one cross, and Boomich going down. He's getting pinched from Ivy, though, and now the rest of the Olaf players are just waiting for that flank to come through. Electronic needs to pounce right here, right now, and he does, leaving the AWP alone on the site. Rotations coming in from the CT spawn, and out the connector is Chris. Woxic bested by Simple's AWP in the face, and Chris, he's come very quickly off of B. Perfecto spots him, and Simple swings wide, swapped out to the AK for great success. That bomb almost gets stopped with 8 seconds to spare. That could have been the round from Frozen. Low HP on the plant of Perfecto, but it's not going to happen, and neither will this clutch, surely, especially with flashes like that. Frozen might have to fall away and live to fight another day.
That's such a shame for Chris J, right? Like, I love the way that Chris J, we all know what he is capable of when he's just fragging out, but so often you'll see him try and win a round just through outbraining the opposition, and that's exactly what he was trying to do there. He tries to play the timing, like knowing there's going to be about 8 seconds as that bomb tries to go down in the A bomb site. And so he wraps around the back of Brown. He's trying to wait for the plant, but he just gets seen. Like the leg of him as he gets behind the train is spotted by Perfecto, as you say. And then they're homed in on him, ready to go. So yeah, shame to see it fall apart like that, especially with the kills coming through. Obviously, Simple besting Woxic helped massively there in terms of actually getting NaVi into the site in the first place. And I bet for these folks, they're pretty happy that NaVi were able to pick that one up.
Just the Electronic peeking around the corner again, showing his smile. NaVi got a reason to smile. They're back in control, not just of the map, but the economy as well. Mousesports are broke. Rops has got the Zeus once more. Chris is going atop the trains. He's going to get spotted and drop off. Electronic leading the hunt, and he's taking down the one man with armor and the SMG saved from the last. Chris is hiding in the smoke, but as that fades, he'll be up on the chopping block. He's going to try and play ahead of it, get aggressive. Caught now in sandwich with the wrap from bo3. He is removed. Simple holding the flank, and no stone unturned here for NaVi. That Zeus looking like it's going to have very little effect, if anything. Coming down the pop, karrigan, he almost has a chance to kill Simple on low HP. Rops is waiting for someone to come up the ladder, but no mistake being made here from NaVi. They are not going to fall for that one.
Who's more patient then? Who's more patient? Let's see. Robs. I mean, you've already waited all round, right? Like, what's an extra 40 seconds?
See, Flamey has nothing to lose, right? I know he's Mac 10, but he'll probably want to upgrade that going into a rifle round anyway. So there is a world where he can go up the ladder and not really care about the result, but not today. And sadly, oh my, that is...
Oh, we love this camera angle. We love this one.
Right here, the ladder, and they take him down. No Zeus antics for now. It will happen eventually. Can't stop the inevitable.
That's Robs' second time with it.
Both times NaVi have gone A.
Third time. Third time's the charm, boys. It's gonna happen. Excuse me, fans, put your clothes on camera.
Showing up to the broadcast with no shirt on. Nice necklace, I guess. But
he's hiding his nips with his arms. He's got an arm bra going on. But I'm sorry, sir. If I'm not allowed to, you're not either.
Oh, dear. Banned. Oh, perfecto. Fast out of Pop Dog. He took the spawn. There was no one there this time. Frozen was too busy watching main and trying to save his teammate. Late to the party, but in with double trades. And he's even going to go aggressive on 10 points of health. Big risk for Frozen. Eventually realizing and backing up towards the bomb train, using that E-box smoke to his advantage. NaVi have slowed down. They're checking close. Flamey seems to suspect, and rightly so. If only he was a few seconds earlier. Chris is tucked in heaven. This is such a good position for holding that one pop player down while not being exposed to anyone else. There's even a player on the bomb site. I don't know if he saw Electronic there, but Electronic is creeping closer, finding Woxic down old hell. He even escapes as well.
Yeah, they're still creeping forward and Simple. Oh no, Chris J, I'm so sorry, man. He's just a little too wide and he was spotted by Simple. Now Frozen inside of the bomb site, desperate to reclaim that lost man. Rops is still all the way back in con. And
Simple, leg.
Simple, behind you. No,
baby.
Frozen, there's one. But Electronic trades just in the nick of time. Bomb now planted. Flamey spotted in Pop Dog. They know that the other man is inside of the site, so Rops has the information. He knows what's going on now. He's just got to hit the shots, and Electronic swings on out, secures it with a triple. NaVi 7-3, and you can see why Train is a good map for them.
Great attempt from Frozen. Look at these fast flicks that he's been providing in this series so far. But I love the slowdown for NaVi, right? Once they get into that 3-on-4, they just kind of wait and sit in the yard. mousesports don't want to peek because they know that how many players could be outside for NaVi. And so kind of just tuck into spots. Chris gets caught from E-box. Simple spots him. He doesn't see the feet of Frozen on the site, but luckily Frozen's too low to actually kill the planter. There's a world where he wins the round off the back of that play. But yeah, 10 points of health. Player on the bomb plant gets off it. One bullet is all he needs, and it's going to break the money of mousesports here. Back to Deagles. We've seen them do this before, though.
Unlucky. Gets smoked off over in Ivy as they stack two players up. karrigan's going to get thrown up on the boost. Flash goes over. This is not an angle you're checking, surely, right? Electronic swings out, does get blindsided. Chris J tries to go through to capitalize and ends up giving up his life. karrigan with the Deeg. What can he offer us now? He's going to reposition safely back into the bomb train. A bit more safety here for him. And safety's off, jury's out. What can karrigan do here? Ultimately, not going to be a hell of a lot. He gets taken down by bo3. And now for Frozen and Rops, these two going to struggle to play into this one very much. Looking like it will just be exit frags for mousesports.
That's if they're allowed. Simple's hunting. Rops is looking the wrong way. Oh, that's a lovely little spot. tucked in. Now, the swing is going to work wonders. AK dropped. He can't go and retrieve that because those lines are being watched by NaVi, but that's a great kill from Rops and Frozen. He's got so much more. He told Rops to tuck because he's got a double. They line up, and Frozen might find a third. This round is still winnable after all. Is there time? I don't think so. And with that kill going in the way of Perfecto, this one is done and dusted, but all the kills for mousesports. Talk about exit frags.
When Frozen was beginning that long wrap, I was like, wow, this might be a bit underwhelming. But no, he waits and he lines them both up. That is unreal. Patience is a virtue, and patience is something this guy is high in supply. Look at that. He's like, oh, I ain't missing this. Boom. There's one for the highlight reel. Clip it. I knew we'd get a cheeky laugh from Chris. Of course. Oh, man. You got to love Chris J.
Wow. NaVi, though, okay, yeah, they lose all their guns, but they still win the round. They still have the money for reinvestments. Flamey, he's been taking this AWP over Simple in some of these rounds. You know, typically in the post-spawns, they've been swapping out, and that's interesting to see. He's going to get dropped by the Rops, though, above the train, close on B, and doubling down. Nice start. That's going to leave NaVi in such a rough spot. Train is a map where you really just struggle at getting out of these 3-on-5s. If you lose early gunfights, especially when it's not like, you know, you're rushing A, so at least you have some position, you have some control, and you get players out Olaf or towards the E-box. No, NaVi is still in spawn, and they're 2 men down with only 2 bits of utility. Like, this is the worst case scenario. And so there's really not a lot you can do. mousesports can fan out a bit. They have control on A. They can play double B. And the AWPs are split. There's 3 of them now for mousesports. Like, boy, oh boy, it's getting worse by the second for NaVi. And these are the rounds that I just don't know how you're supposed to win with how well mousesports can trade in this site. Smoke down the ramp can give NaVi a chance, but they're just going to go in dry. Simple gets legged, but they will be able to cross to the site.
Yeah, they are closing the distance. They're looking to deal with these players out from Con as they get up through the lane. Carrigan smoked off now. Gonna try and play around it. Flash goes high. Carrigan goes through. Catches Perfecto. Does get traded by Simple, but it's still a huge advantage for Mouse. And now that they've dealt with Electronics, Simple is left in a very, very rough spot. 1v4. He needs the kills, and Wox6 holding down the angle. It's 4 on the board for Mouse. As they finally piece together a round, they're going to be in high spirits after that one, because that's pretty one-sided there. And a bit of money now banked on up, which can make all the difference, really, between just getting dictated to at the end of this half and having yourself, you know, in that like 11-4 scoreline and actually being able to recover.
Not just the money, the equipment. They saved 3 AWPs. I thought they picked it up because Rops got tagged and he had an AWP dropped at the bottom of ramp from Flamey. I thought he'd trade it back out. Like, again, it could be a communication issue, but I don't think so. More likely than not, they chose to save it. We saw Astralis do that yesterday with 2 AWPs on A and S-Tag running the 3rd AWP on B. That was, you know, in overtime when they had the money, but that's kind of crazy to see. So, yeah, let's see how this goes. I'm all for it. Carrigan, please buy armor. Please.
Come on, Carrigan. Realize.
Not like this, Carrigan.
Legend, tell him. Someone, please.
Oh, dear.
Oh, no. Okay.
Just need someone in Twitch chat to just remind him of that, boys.
Oh, I'm worried, man. I don't think the messages are getting through. Maybe if we say it really loud. Carrigan! He's not hearing, he's not listening, and here's Simple down through Pop. Rops opens up with a kill on a Flamey. Maybe this no armor's not going to matter after all. We're going to have to wait and see. Simple faking the ladder noise, trying to bait a peek. Double AWP set up, aggressing in through B. This is very unorthodox. Yeah. Boomich on the other side. Woxy going to take this first shot. It misses. Rops follows up, and that double AWP at B sends NaVi packing. Simple now. Out from Pop Dog, sneaking into the front line. Spots Frozen, but that information goes both ways. And Carrigan up on top of the train. He gets taken down. Simple with the kill, but it's still a 2-on-4. Overwhelming odds stacked against NaVi. Perfecto and Simple. Gonna have to fight tooth and nail back into the round, but look at Frozen. Look at this wrap that he is embarking on right now. He could shut the whole thing down. Simple gets another. Frozen might have just missed the timing. I think he heard the footsteps. I think he knows As Simple getting dealt with, and now just Perfecto, they fall, and it is a 5th for mousesports.
Frozen got yoinked as well. He didn't get that last kill. Chris took it away. He took both down Olaf from back Ivy. Karrigan is actually just playing massive massive brain 400 IQ chess because he got killed by the AWP. He knew it was coming. No armor needed. Wouldn't have made a damn difference. Of course not. But double AWP on B Halls. I've never seen that ever in my entire life. And hey, it works wonders. Woxic misses a close shot on Boomich. Rops bails him out. That's a nice little setup. And that elevates NaVi's pace into the A site and into what? The 3rd AWP. They're finally going to get rid of one of them, though. It was about time. They're against pistols.
Ooh. Ooh, that one tag. I think Woxic would have heard that. Now knows that there's a man still aggressing in through Ivy. He's got that information. The rest of NaVi are outside of B. They just want to go for the bomb plant. They lose Simple. His whole job was just to keep players over towards A. And while he has lived up to that, with him now falling, these rotations are going to come in very, very quickly. And with Chris J donning that AWP, as this execute looks to come on in, even if they get into the site, Frozen will just rush on in, likely to join up with Rops. Chris J can rotate in and watch Connector with the AWP, and they just collapse into NaVi. There's no way out of this one, guys. It's a 6th round for Mouse. And this is where, like, you know, suddenly this 8-4 scoreline that looked like it was going to be very, very one-sided can be split right down the middle, thanks to that little resurgence from Mouse when it mattered most.
Yeah, and this is kind of what we saw in the first half of Nuke, right? NaVi were in full control. They had a really good CT side, and then mousesports won that 1 eco where Woxic finding 4 D kills, and that just flipped the script. That gave mousesports the crucial bit of money to actually get 7 at the end of their T half. And the same things happened here. NaVi in full control. Like, don't get me wrong, they're going to win the half. This is excellent. This is great for NaVi, but it could have been so much more. And yeah, it's a bit scary. mousesports finding what could be a 4th round in a row near the end of the half. Back to the triple AWP. It was by design. And let's see what they can do with it. I actually love this idea. Like, I'm not against it at all on a map like Train, where you're in a player, you know, you could just play safe and let them into the site, try and get 1 kill, fall off, reposition. You don't have to play inside of B and fight to your death and just get traded after 1 like so many Biancas do. So passive play for Robs, playing for the retake, and that's more than likely where we'll see mousesports in this round, considering NaVi are grouping 5 towards B. They've not done a proper 5-man B execute yet, and even though mousesports haven't rotated one over, this is all going to be very telegraphed, and they're going to be ready for it.
Yeah, Rops kind of needs one, though, right? Like, this triple AWP in the retake, not what you want whatsoever. That Molotov going to force the peak from Perfecto, but Rops just misses the timing there. It's actually Chris J to take the advantage. And so now, like, this triple AWP, even though it's not ideal, you're still able to start to move in, feeling kind of confident. The flash goes in, no peek on the back of it. Simple, gets information, but Flamey's going to snipe the kill away from him. Closing the gap, Simple, quick flick to find Rops. This bomb has to get planted, 20 seconds. And NaVi using all the time they can. Now start to plug in those numbers. Frozen, closing the gap, trying to get stuck in. Simple on the bomb train with Electronic nearby to help him. And a quick one tap from Frozen. Electronic and Flamey now. Tucked away. They hear a man on the ladder. Bomb ticking. Electronic in with 1. Frozen falls. Shots baited from Karrigan, who drops on down. Electronic with the flick. Woxic deals with Flamey. It's down to the 1v1. Electronic is low, but Woxic running out of time. Electronic playing with his food, and Woxic's going to get the kill. There's enough time for the defuse. It's going to be close with the double tap, but I think he's got it. 7 for Mouse, and this one ends split down the middle.
Yes, indeed. Damn good half. I mean, at the end of the day, mousesports do recover. They do find that 4-round streak, and that's kind of what we expected from them. NaVi dropping the ball right at the end. But at the end of the day, if you're NaVi, 8-round T-side, that's not one you're going to sleep on. That's a pretty good first half.
off my mind, trying to find a story to believe. And I've been getting sick of how I'm spending all my time, searching for a way to find relief. And I can stay inside, go to sleep, but I feel like I need to let go. And I can spin a web of any story that I like, but tonight I wanna make a masterpiece. Stepped out looking like a small fire, half glass and filled with desire. Head down, but I know I can't deny it. Life is fun when you're a liar. I've been told I'm gonna paint a new reality. It doesn't take a lot to turn a person into gold. Yeah, I've been getting good at alchemy. And you can stay inside in the dark, but without it you never let go. And when you're done with hiding and you wanna have control, you and I can find a perfect fantasy. Stepped out looking like a small fire, half glass that filled with desire. Head down, but I know I can't deny it. Life is fun when you're a liar.
Well, mousesports and NaVi over here on trade certainly is heating up. You can see that we got supporters in full force for the mousesports side right now. It's NaVi in the lead, but mousesports do a good job of recovering there towards the end of that first half of play. 8-7 as things stand. Mao's now beginning their T side. And let's see if they can keep this little mini comeback they've stringed together going.
Yeah, lots of utility as well. Smoke flash combo. We got P250s dropped over to Rops. Carrigan's going to keep his. Rops holding on to upper B, but not for long. Simple domes in with the USP. The double peek from NaVi gets spotted. That might elevate mousesports' pace towards that A site, knowing that there's a heavy inner setup, but Chris has burst on at a range. Probably not what he intended, and removed by Simple as well. This is a hugely dominant pistol for NaVi right now. Carrigan finally turns the tide, but only for a second. Woxic in a 1-on-4 that's just not going to happen. 2 from Electronic, 2 from Simple, and NaVi take 9.
Oh, we got the 4 spy though for mousesports. They're looking to rise to the occasion like they did back on Nuke. If you remember there, that 4 spy was enough to start to get them back into the swing of things. Let's see if history is going to repeat itself, or if NaVi are batting down the hatches and are ready for what's about to come their way. It's a lot of flashes, a lot of smokes in towards the A site, and Carrigan barreling in first. Bit of a signature move for Carrigan, but this time gets cut down by Boomich. And now mousesports, the rest of the gang, trying to trickle in behind their IGL, and one of them has, like Chris J has listened through and through, but he's got the bomb, and he might be about to lose it here. That there is a disaster. Electronic gets tagged by the scout of Woxic, but that is grim compensation for not just finding yourself in a 3-on-5, but also having that bomb now under NaVi control. You'll see Rops on the minimap looking to try and get in through B to come in on a flank. Problem is, in a 5-on-3, NaVi is still going to have a man floating around here, and that's Perfecto. Flamey deals with 1. Follow-up from Woxic, so he has managed that at least. Now, what more can he do? The answer might surprise you. It's nothing. Simple cuts him down. Rops, ooh, does deal with Simple down here. in pop, but now another man, another challenger. This time it's bo3 stepping up to the plate. How many wallbangs have you got, Rops? He can't afford to take a dry fight, so he's got to win it creatively. And now there's even more bodies in pop. What's he going to manage? What's he going to do? Probably just saying words, and then he's going to die. But I'd love to be proved wrong.
Yeah, there's no way you can win this if you're Rops, right? On the ladder, we're going to be fully inaccurate. Yeah, even a leg, that's all you need. 24 HP to 0 in an instant. It's NaVi with 10. At least finding the rounds they should early on in this half. Pistol and the follow-up. Not letting mousesports get away with all too much. We're waiting for those gun rounds, and, well, they'll come through after one more eco. Oh, I like this as well. Is Perfecto going to just play pistol? Yeah, this is always nice for building a bit of money. No, he buys a rifle last second. But, yeah, not really a worry. Just in case mousesports do force up here. But, yeah, Train's not a great map for pistols anyway. The exception of the Deagle. Got a couple of flashbangs for mousesports to burst into this A site. Frozen lining one up from the spawn. Chris above pop. Setting up Rops. And there's the right click. bo3 will dodge it. And Rops is still going to kill him. That's crazy. SMG dropped down there. Rops is very low, but now mousesports is going to flood out onto this A site. Electronic, he's already spotted the bomb. He's already cooling for those rotations. The inner pushes in from Simple, but it might not be needed. Electronic finding 2, and Frozen with just a Glock is going to get made quick work of by that flank. 11 rounds to 7 for NaVi. And this is it. mousesports with the buy. Woxic even having the AWP as well. So everything available for both sides.
Yeah, it's a little bit scary because back on Nuke, you didn't have like the terrifying duo of Electronic and Simple, and here that's not really the case. They're very much present. They're very much laying down the pain. Simple and Woxic might be about to have a bit of a head-to-head here. Woxic's homed in, fires the shot off through the smoke, gives up the AWP, did find itself over towards Ivy, and it's going to stick around. Now, in the meantime, Rops is down here at the bottom of B ramp, hiding in a smoke. Perfecto's got his attention split between upper and lower. And with Flamey having just rotated away, that's going to give Rops some passage into this B site. Now, with players already being in, this is going to prompt a bit of a rotation, not just of one player. You see Flamey moving around. Electronic briefly shifted out of position as well, but he's gone back since to Ivy. Rops, how well can he sell this fake? That's the...
Does he know?
Hang on a moment. This is a problem for Chris J. Don't throw Chris J into the firing line. That's so unreasonable. Frozen and Woxic get a couple of kills, and actually, it might all be said and done. Perfecto now, 1v4, deals with the first man in the form of Chris. He has Rops coming in through the back as well. Temporarily, there's a 1v2 at this site, but up the ladder and into Rops. This is... he's just dodged it. Perfecto, the timing king. It's like he knows. Woxic's now in Ivy, but Perfecto back into T-Spawn, trying to stay alive, and he's just got round the corner in time again. Perfecto's got this one. He's got the egg timer out.
Rops can wait for a flash if he wants to be patient. They have all the time in the world. Carrigan's got that last bit of util. Bye-bye, Perfecto. Good luck here, buddy. Not going to happen. Perfecto, he never saw Rops in that round. Technically, not even then, as he got flashed out. But little does he know, he dodged him in every single position. And even though that information that for a second rotated NaVi towards B with 2 players, as you said, Flamey coming over, Perfecto pushes ramp, he gets the info, goes, okay, it's only a lurk, it's just a fake, it's actually an A play. And even though that was correct, it didn't really matter because Rops won his B pick, and the rest of mousesports traded really well outside of Ivy. Woxic with 2 AWP kills from that position. That was a very messy round on both sides, but the result is there for Mouse, and Woxic quick flick to the leg of Simple. Players climbing on top of Red Train as well. Got to be very careful as Simple has the AWP. He's going back in for revenge.
Yeah, that's the CS equivalent of poking the bear, you know, like you haven't finished him off, and now Simple is just angry. He's looking for this kill. Electronic going aggressive as well, has bo3 alongside him just tucked into the corner. Now, Carrigan doesn't check for it, and as a result comes to pay the price. Chris J out, and dispatched by Electronic. Woxic, there's a man beneath his crosshair, and he's not going to realize Frozen will bail him out. But it's still NaVi looking so damn good in this round. Simple, he eventually does get his revenge onto Woxic, and Rops is kind of wondering, like, what the hell just happened? He was meant to come in to split the A site with the rest of his team, and he never even gets the privilege. Perfecto holding close, box around the corner, and Perfecto is going to win out the fight. So it's 12 for NaVi. That was a partial investment around an AWP on Simple, and they're able to get it over the line.
Yeah, attack timeout. It's been some time since we've had one of these. mousesports realizing this game may be slipping away from them with 1 round win in this half on their first rifle. Immediately responded by NaVi holding on to that outside site. Could have been a very different round if Woxic got that opening kill instead of just the leg. That is not a world that we know. Not out of the woods yet, though, NaVi. mousesports still have more money to invest into this follow-up round. It's actually only going to be Deagles. They're saving a bit for a rainy day. 10k of equipment value. NaVi over double that. Woxic's scout has been really good in this series, even if it is just tags. Back on Nuke, who's finding opening kills. If not with the scout, then with the Deagle. Ooh, through the smoke, Frozen tries his hand. Flamey won't peek back into that fight, despite the smoke giving him the favor. NaVi going to regroup back and spawn. Chris with the one bit of utility in this round, ready to flash his teammates outside of pop. They do have that position at least, NaVi, with no one taking a spawn to get inside of it. Woxic, he knows, he's seen some stuff, but there's so many players on this line. No one committing to any fights, but once that flash comes through and NaVi and mousesports start to flood out, NaVi are going to be ready to trade. Good flash, Carrigan with the spam, Electronic re-peeking, he's going to take down a trade, and he's having a great game right now, even knows that someone's behind the E-box too. Rops is gone, it's all on the scout, and only attack for Woxic, too little too late. NaVi with 13, but that was only an eco for mousesports. We're waiting for the money to build up, and here it is.
Yeah, I would kind of love to just see mousesports, you know, like go for a B hit, especially when you think about the fact that a few rounds ago, Chris J and Rops were able to get into B and encounter very little resistance in the process. Right now, you know, they've been very, very fixated on getting past this A hold for NaVi. And I think, you know, you've got Electronic playing E-box. You've got Simple with the AWP here. Like, you know, you're running into the brick wall almost voluntarily, it feels like at times. And oh, it's Simple. He's taken the AWP over to B in this round. And Robs is on the receiving end of it. Now, getting that kill, Simple going to leave, just going to back away because he's very, very mobile with the AWP. He wants to keep mousesports guessing. He shows his hand at B. And I imagine we might see him vacate the site altogether in just a little bit. You can see him over towards backtracks right now. Flamey, meanwhile, holding on to Ivy. Has Frozen and Woxic aggressing his way. If he gets Frozen, Woxic isn't close enough to get the trade, so flash goes out. Oh, Flamey swings a little too wide. It does find himself in the firing line of Woxic, so the trade kill's there at least. Chris J, is he going to spot the man up on top of the trains? That's Boomich. While this is going down, there's an awkward little exchange here in Ivy, and it's going to be Woxic winning that out. Boomich is still here, still on top of the trains. Players have gotten by him. This could prove to be a blessing and a curse, as now he surprises Carrigan, but there's the trade from Chris, leaving Perfecto in the 1v2.
He couldn't stop the bomb plant from atop the train. He'd have to fall off, so he looked elsewhere and at least got one kill, a bit of value from that position. But unfortunately, because of how how Chris came out of the E-box side, he's able to cross into the site. So Boomich, he's saying, guys, I see nothing on A. I see no one. And NaVi rotate through the connector and get caught by Chris's aggressive positioning. So that's very unfortunate for NaVi, but great work for mousesports. Woxic even reading Boomich's smoke push on Ivy 2. Finding 2. Same story for Chris. And mousesports up to 9 here. Perfecto will get away with the AK. No one close enough to take down that saving player. NaVi, their money's there. They're going to be able to buy for sure into this round. Simple can even get the AWP with Kevlar, nothing else. And he was the one to open up that round as well. So this will be one more buy for NaVi, assuming mousesports continue picking up rounds. This could be them getting back into this T side. If anything, this would be a great round for mousesports to go for one of these fast plays, right? Get out main quickly, get those E-box and sandwich smokes down, fast flashes over the A site. Assuming the spawns are favorable for them. They've been playing a lot of slow crunches on A. It's only going to be a nade onto the bomb train, hitting Simple in the chest, but no one capitalizing, no one committing. Simple even boosted up on top of the bomb train as well. I like this spot, holding for the pallet boost, but no one there for mousesports. They're barely holding on to T-Con. Karrigan gets the favor returned from a grenade. mousesports just slow and steady, taking positions one by one. Great flashbang. Damn, that one's good. Rops is also shooting as Chris throws the flash. We've seen Boomich hear the click of the grenade and turn in the past, but in that one, because Rops is spamming through metal, Boomich never hears the flash leave the hands of Chris. And so fully white, good night. It's mousesports with a man advantage.
Smoke throw on Ivy side from Karrigan, but you'll note he doesn't commit at all. He immediately goes and rejoins his teammates over here towards B. So this is looking like a late B play for Mouse. And only Perfecto here. Haven't really seen his metal tested over towards B just yet. With two players kind of passively back within the bomb site here for NaVi, the rotations are going to be fairly fast as this play looks to come in. Perfecto blinded, hop, skip, and a jump gets him across into the bomb site. Now what can he do? Smoke down. Perfecto. Ooh, there's so many bodies on the other side. Denies that bomb plant. Still alive, still a threat, and he might even live to tell the tale. He's been able to get away, at least momentarily. Rops is spamming the smoke. How's he still alive? How on earth has Perfecto overstayed his welcome? Chris J deals with Flamey, but Perfecto still putting up numbers. This bomb has to go down, and Woxic's going to find the kill. It's all on Simple. 1B3 denies the plant, and that is the round as long as Simple stays alive, and he does. 14 for NaVi. Chris dies after time. And that is such a way to steal a round from Mouse. Perfecto with 2, plays it perfectly. Simple denies the plant. And NaVi, that is ace, man, to get that round falling in their favor.
It's not just Perfecto sitting on, sitting in the smoke and staying alive as well. The bomb flies forward. It's so deep. It's not like mousesports can just walk into the smoke and grab it. It is on the other end of the smoke, in view of Simple and the connector players. Oh dear, mousesports. They try and throw caution to the wind. They try and set Woxic into the A site quick, and he gets shot in the face by Simple's AWP. Rops. Oh, he had a chance. He had a timing. He had a couple. Boomich with grenades out, looking the wrong way, but he won't commit, thinking it's too good to be true, and maybe it was, but that could have been the refrag that mousesports needed. The map hinges on this round right now. Their money is gone. They had to buy here, forcing round not only Chris's lack of money after dying post-round time, but also Frozen saving the AK hit against his will with 0 loss. Karrigan spamming that deagle as he often does. He will get one. Back into a 4-on-4, but low HP and a quick cleanup from Electronic, who moves closer. The spray transfer for a 2. Chris is so low. Electronic, he is going to wrap the back of blue, and this is a big problem. mousesports, they either need to move forward into this AWP or wait as this flank comes into play. Electronic is patient, though, aware they could be holding this backline. He lets Simple take the next contact, and information he still has. Electronic might act on the back of that. Flamey spotting them on the site. Now Electronic will strike from behind, drops in a 1-on-4 for everything, and he's going to get nothing done. Flamey takes him down, and that is a pitch-perfect round for NaVi. A desperate Hail Mary out of A for mousesports. But it's kind of sad that that was the first fast A we saw for them, and it was really just reliant on Woxic, one man. There was no one following him out through that smoke, and Simple just decks him with the AWP.
Well, this is looking like it's going to be a 3-mapper. This is looking like we're going to end up going the distance. NaVi just one away from locking in Dust 2. And there's Boomich with the opener. He certainly wants to get them there. Now, they do deal with these players at A fairly well, leaving themselves with the man advantage, but Simple still a threat down here toward Ivy, and well, you blinked, you missed it. Simple swept this one under the rug. My goodness, NaVi, they take the W, they take the victory, and they lock in Dust 2 as that third and final map, Hugo. I cannot wait to see Dust 2 go down on our screens, but if you want to watch it too, you have to join us after a break, so don't go anywhere.
Say why.
Yeah, I see no signals, no signs. Girl, you be tripping, no lies, nah. You said je ne sais pas. I flew in all the way for this. I'm not here to waste your time. I just can't give you vibes, you changed a bit. Girl, you mad teasing. I don't mind leaving, just let me know. She told me take it easy. Hey, yeah. I just came here to make y'all feel good. You know what the message is. Suddenly you're with me now. You know what the message is. I've been running wild for you, babe. You know what the message is. I don't have no patience. Ain't no conversation. Suddenly you're with me now. You know what the message is. I've been running wild for you, babe. You know what the message is. I don't have no patience. Ain't no conversation.
Welcome back to ESL One Cologne 2020, and we're taking it to a third map decider, Dust 2 between mousesports and NaVi. But before then, we need to discuss what happened on train. And before then, Hugo, I know you're itching to talk about this one. We want to give you an update on Complexity versus Mad Lions. It is going on right now on the B stream if you do want to check it out. But on the second map, they've just gone into overtime, so it's a lot closer of an affair than Overpass, where Complexity took it 16-3. Mad Lions clearly still trying to find their feet with their new player, Innocent, because they're having to play in English. It's been 2 weeks. We've got to give them a little bit of time. But time might be running out for either of these teams that we're talking about right now, because it was a complete reversal of fortune on train, Hugo.
Yeah, it's a little scary for mousesports now with this going the way of NaVi and not as close as maybe mousesports wanted. We go to Dust 2 as a third, and like that's one that NaVi have looked so good in the past. But when we looked at this series from the offset, we kind of expected this, right? You know, NaVi never beaten mousesports on Nuke. Mousesports never beaten NaVi on train, with the exception of that one charity event. So yeah, I feel like this is painting a pretty good picture right now. Dust 2 is a finale. NaVi looking in control. Simple's warmed up alongside Electronic, and that's the duo that we needed, that we didn't really get to see back on Nuke.
I'm interested in the discipline from NaVi on their CT sides. It seems like a turnaround from a few months ago. There's so much communication that's going on. Obviously, things are a lot calmer. They're playing together on a boot camp. I can see you wanting to jump in there, Hugo.
Yeah, no, you make a great point when you talk about discipline, because mousesports never went for any of those fast A aggressive rounds. They did a lot of like set pieces and grouping up and splitting A. But when you see like Woxic sitting in main with a scout or the AWP, who is constantly looking for picks, and he would never get given anything. NaVi would be running like one sandwich, one green, one deep Ivy, and no one's peeking T-Con. No one's even giving information away to the AWP in main. And when you say discipline, like that's such a good point, because NaVi would just never give mousesports the picks they required. And you know, maybe if mousesports were going for faster plays, it would have been a very different result.
Yeah, Electronic as well. Like, we have him on screen right now, so it feels fitting to talk about him. He's like a master of this like E-box brown train sandwich kind of area. You don't want to be messing with him. And then I think I'm very, very happy that we bring up Perfecto. His stats aren't incredible. Like, you look at it, he was what, 13 and 11. You're not thinking like, man, yeah, he did great. But over towards B, he was just holding his own, anchoring it down. 3-0 in opening duels, so he was never a liability. He was always getting one and then just falling back, you know, going through the motions. And the life of a B player, you know, it's often not very pretty. But he still got to have his big highlight moment right here, where he denies the bomb plant, he buys all this time, he keeps putting up numbers, and eventually that leads to NaVi getting a 14th round, also trashing the economy of mousesports. Like, even if they get that bomb planted, that gives them that much more to play with up against 14. Then you kind of compound into that the fact that Chris J actually dies after time in that scenario there, and it just set NaVi up for a free win, it felt like. So Perfecto and Simple doing some real heavy lifting over towards that B bomb site when it mattered most.
And it's really important to highlight Perfecto, I feel, because this is a player, when he came onto NaVi, people were like, he's not NaVi material, he's not confident enough, he's showing land jitters. Well, okay, that doesn't matter right now because we're online, and this is a player who has the discipline. I keep using that word. I know it's not necessarily a word we often use for NaVi, but he has the sensibility to stay in that smoke after taking that bomb planter out, wait for backup, and then do his thing. And that is why I think they won that map. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. But right now, we need you to keep clutching your straws, because we've got to take a break. But when we come back, we're going to be finding out who is going to take Dust 2 and the series.
Intel Gamer Days is on now. Whether you're looking to buy or build, now is a great time to upgrade. Get limited time offers and giveaways from top names in PC gaming. Unleash elite gaming performance with systems featuring new 10th gen Intel Core processors, and bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game optimizations for a mightier PC experience. Act now. Intel Gamer Days is only here for a limited time.
If you want to know what you're good at and, well, also what you suck at, check out csgohub.com. Coming!
Can't get there and you know I've tried. You know I don't wanna waste your time. City lights, I'm looking in your eyes, but I can't say why. Doesn't feel right to call you mine. You know I don't wanna waste your time. I can't get there and you know I've tried, but I can't say why.
When you feel it's hopeless, when you think that you lost, oh, I will take your hand and we'll rise up from the dust. Oh, here we go, 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 let us heal and grow. You won't be alone, we're unstoppable. Don't be afraid to show what we're going for. This is what we know. Here we come back to life, we're still breathing. Standing up, everybody's gonna see it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. Even if we fall, we will rise up and we follow the path that we believe in. No, we're not gonna stop until we reach it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. We rise up from the dust and clean our throat. We all have our reasons why we are on this track. Oh, we all have our burdens, yeah, but we just keep on fighting and we never look back. Here we go, 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 let us heal and grow. You won't be alone, we're unstoppable. Don't be afraid to show what we're going for. This is what we know. Here we come back to life, we're still breathing. Standing up, everybody's gonna see it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. Even if we fall, we will rise up and we follow the path that we believe in. No, we're not gonna stop until we reach it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. We rise up from the dust and claim our throne.
ESL One Cologne Online is brought to you in part by Intel, Mountain Dew Game Fuel, DHL, and GGBet.
Welcome back to ESL One Cologne 2020. It's one apiece for mousesports and NaVi, but now they're taking it to Dust 2. And it's fair to say the odds are in the CIS team's favor because, they're going to knife the side. Then we're really going to find out whose favorite's in. But we know that mousesports, they don't really have a great win rate on this map. They've lost the last 6 times they've played at Carrigan Falls. And it looks like it's going to be NaVi domination. But which side are they going to pick? We're thinking probably the T side because it's Dust 2, Harry.
I don't know, like, Dust 2 is a map where it doesn't matter too much, but I think most teams prefer a CT side start because then you have that second half to be the one setting the pace, showing your strategies, you know, like, and you're the ones doing that second. So, you know, you have like a time to get used to the other team's tendencies. You make them show a lot more than maybe you have to if you have a really good, like, CT side, right? So I'm imagining it's going to be a CT side start, but on Dust, it doesn't matter as much as it does on other maps, really.
Are you thinking the same here?
Yeah. I mean, almost every team starts CT side, so that's pretty standard. I think, you know, it's just worrying. You mentioned those last 6 maps from mousesports. Of course, they were before the player break, but one of them was versus NaVi again in the ML12 tournament. You know, asterisk there, but they got like 3 rounds in that entire map, so it's a little worrying, especially considering how good NaVi have been on Dust 2 in the past. They run a Katavita using this map. They're long control. Their fakes back out towards the B site through spawn. They're a really exciting team on this map. And you can see them huddling on the player cams there as well at boot camp, getting ready, getting raring to go and getting in to Dust 2.
It's NaVi, it's mousesports, 2 teams, it's yellow and red, it's ketchup and mustard, and there's only room for one here on the hot dog that is ESL One Cologne. Let's see who takes this best of 3. It culminates now on Dust 2, and we're just waiting for NaVi to finish hugging this one out, and then we're going to get in to this pistol round.
Usually I'm all in favour of a little cuddle, but when it's delaying the Counter-Strike, I say sit yourselves, strap yourselves in. mousesports dying on the T side. They're going to go for a default.
Loads of grenades. We got 4 sets of util here. No kit for NaVi. They did pick the CT star after that knife round win. As to be expected at this point, but mousesports, what do we expect from them? Where are they going? The bomb heading towards tunnels. We've got Frozen in lower. Still some waiting players for mousesports holding long and middle in case anyone wants to get aggressive. Common to see Cat push for Simple. He's up there as well. He's not going to go much further just yet. Frozen is waiting for him if he lurks under. Bob's getting spotted at B, looking for a P250 kill as he's been dropped that over by Chris. They get this kill, they can burst in off the back of it. There is only 1 man inside of that B site, but we know the door change has freed up the ability for Perfecto to assist in middle. Talking of middle, Simple's dead in that area to do Karrigan's P250. A risky fight to take with half of his team's utility, but that's a big kill for Robs into the B bomb site. They won't go running in. They don't need to go running in because Karrigan is taking long. This is just fights all over the map for mousesports, and now they're going to hit B. NaVi already ready for it, beginning the flank.
Yeah, Perfecto's nade going to find a little bit of damage, but not enough to write home about. Rops the bunny rabbit, hops into the site and deals with him pretty swiftly. This is where the flank comes in from Boomich. He does get 1. Nade out. Throws that in. Woxic. Ooh, I thought that was going to do more, if I'm honest. But Woxic, yeah, still fine, and he's going to get his revenge. Nades are one thing, but bullets are another. Electronic 1v3. And this is a pretty tall order here. Is he up to the task? Half the time ticked off this bomb, so he really doesn't have much to play with here. Does have a smoke to maybe try and get him out the tunnels, but yeah, he's not going for it. He's just waiting around, hoping that players come his way on the exit. And Woxic, well, he might oblige.
I like that pistol from mousesports because despite having 3 in tunnels with the bomb, NaVi never had that information, right? Despite having a lot of info, they had middle. Long was lost thanks to Karrigan getting out there with the P250, and Rops is solo peeking B, so NaVi don't have enough info to go, yeah, it's a B play. They've only seen 1 dude in the tunnels. Rops gets a kill as Karrigan gets Simple down mid, and then NaVi just scrambling for info. They fight on long, they at least trade back there, and that just clears out long, and Boomich pushes middle. So, you know, at that point they realize, but then Rops gets his B pick, and they just go running and gunning in. So, yeah, mousesports denying information to NaVi, and also not denying the long control. Heavy flashbangs going through, and Frozen jumps to the blue bins. Woxic wall-banging Flamey later in the round. There's a gun there for Boomich to grab. But are you sure you want to take on Woxic here in middle? Woxic doesn't have a pistol either, so just sticking with a primary. Maybe there's one dropped in spawn. Because you're going to want something to fall back on if you miss your scout shot. NaVi have 2 of them still left up, and mousesports with this early kill are going to group towards long and just commit onto this A site.
Well, just a tickle in response from Woxic. Simple. Ooh, with his scout, makes quick work. of Woxic, but there's the trade from Frozen. Electronic going to tuck himself into Gandalf, and let's see if he lets them pass. Carrigan gets into the site and is going to plug in these numbers now. Electronic still just waiting ever so patiently in this position. Both players now spotted down in CT. This is where Electronic is hoping to pounce. Little two-tap to deal with Carrigan. There's still players at ramp, and one of those being Frozen is trying to deal with Electronic, but he can't. There's the lineup for Rops. Electronic still fighting. Ammo going to start to become a problem with the CZ, and Rops gets it back under control. A little sigh of relief for mousesports as they get that second round on the board.
Yeah, that lineup does everything for them. Without that, then that could have been a really problematic retake against mousesports for NaVi.
A little bit of a sigh of relief over on the B stream for complexity as well. They've taken down Mad Lions 2-0, although overtime, just the one on Nuke.
That's a win I feel like we would expect here. Hopefully Mad Lions can build into the tournament, but again, like, you know, there's not a lot of room here in ESL One Cologne. There's so much competition. With recent roster changes, some teams will be struggling off the back of that. Oh dear, these dinks.
Well, it's good to see the big boys back, not struggling at all. This has been quite the series so far.
This is terrifying.
Yeah, it shouldn't have gotten this close. It's only the USB, so thankfully Rops and Carrigan are going to kind of return some normality here. This last bit doesn't really need to happen, it feels like. Flamey up through short, and it's just a question of when will he go down as opposed to if. Armored only a USP. Like, maybe, I was going to say, like, the only player he can really deal with is Carrigan, and he's all the way over at long, so that one gets swept under the rug. Rops up 7-1. That's a nice start here. As he looks to continue his stellar performances from the last two maps, topping the charts, both on Nuke and on Trade. Now we got the investment for NaVi. That's where things get exciting again. So for anyone who kind of tuned out in that previous round, tune back in, because this is where things will pick up a notch. Simple. Going to be donning that AWP for NaVi, as we've come to know and love. And he's taking that over here towards A. Going to flash his teammates in for a long peek. They get established. Look at that, just running through mid. And, well, you know, it looked cool. It looked like something great was going to happen. And then that's what we get.
Yeah, you see people do that, usually coming in from like lower route, but Woxic going full suicide and running down suicide to get there. It's not going to work, not with a scout either, that he hit a tag. Flamey locking down middle as mousesports look to take catwalk against this AWP of Simple. The flash is good. Simple has to fall off with his Molotov. Gun wasn't out in hand anyway. That's at least position game by mousesports, but they don't even have long yet, and Frozen has no utility nor teammate to get flashed out into this position, so he's going to have to concede as well. Mousesports grouping up on mid. Oh dear, Flamey's gone out wide with that second orb and taking a tag onto Carrigan. Mousesports getting bruised and battered before they even find a successful fight here in this round. Now after that mid-fight, NaVi fall back into a double B setup. Mousesports are going to fake it out with a Molotov and CT smoke. Carrigan trying to sell this fake, but the rest of mousesports jumping up into A. Gravity takes Rops down. A Simple hits a shot. He follows up with a kill as well. Sees Chris's head, duck down, creeping and crawling towards the site. Nothing Simple can do but wait. And Chris, he might be able to open up a bomb plant, but past that point, this is going to be a nigh on impossible round for mousesports.
Oh, this is horrible for Chris J. What do you even do? They're everywhere. They are everywhere. They're in the walls. Electronic going to deal with it. And NaVi, they take that round by storm. It is flawless. Everyone stays alive. Simple holding down catwalk. That's a terrifying sight indeed. I love this double AWP as well that they run with Flamey here on Dust. You know, there's even been a few games where it feels like in the beginning, Flamey starts to like outshine just because mid and that B site can be so good with the AWP. There you go. Poor Rops, man. Just trying a CT drop. Gonna be the reinvestment for Mouse. They do have a bit of a bank of cash. Woxic has a long spawn as well, but actually I hear typing. Oh no, that's never good. That's never good. What's broken now? What have you done, Hugo?
I may have kicked a PC. Servers crashed, Harry.
I feel like we've done quite well so far to not have any technical issues. So you know what, day two? I'm chilling with this.
I'm looking at everyone here. Everything's in order. It all looks good. NaVi, they check out. So it's mousesports. Mousesports are the problem. What have they done? Mouse, what have you
They
done?
lost a round and it all went wrong. That's what happened.
Yeah, look, things look a little more animated here. Carrigan's typing. What's going on? Yep, Chris J. Of course, it's Chris J. What's happened here then? Mousepad, you spilt something, haven't you?
Okay,
you
the reason
something.
there is a mousepad, no word of a lie, producer Thomas just told me there is a bee in Hamburg that is buzzing around mousesports gaming room. That is where you can see Carrigan looking up. That's where you can see Regin wielding a mouse mat. And that is why we get a delightful view.
All right.
Of those shorts.
Let's watch it.
On Chris J.
Okay, no.
Absolute baller.
Mad respect for the cup and paper, because that means they're catching the bee and they're rehoming it. Big fan of that. It looked like Chris J's intention was to murder it. So, you know, like, I much prefer this solution. Lots of groin here. That's good, right? Grab the... Carrigan's just analysing the whole situation, man. He can't believe... He's never seen anything like it.
Chris J looks terrified. How many Counter-Strike players does it take to get a B out of your boot camp? That is the question. It turns out no one, because none of the players are stepping up to it. It's all down to mousesports management to make sure none of them get a little sting on their game hands.
We don't know that B is not a NaVi spy in disguise.
That's
I mean, not
good
very
point.
good disguise.
They are basically
yellow and black.
B-coloured.
Yeah.
Look, man, like, that's it. We figured it out.
Have you seen, though, gents, the Asian Hornets? First it was COVID, then Asian Hornets hitting America. I don't know if you saw them. They are massive. And to be fair, I do not blame Chris J for getting the heebie-jeebies.
Heebie-beebies.
Heebie-beebies indeed, but it looks like we're nearly ready to get back into the server. No damage was done, so there's no rounds conceded. It's all fair, it's all game. NaVi not making any fuss, given that they just won that last round.
No bees were harmed in the making of this tournament.
All right then, lads, we're back in. Voxic trying to be a little bit more careful down suicide this time. Not quite chasing his way down. He knows Flamey's there mid-CT waiting for him.
Well, so Mass is more in Spanish, and there's B-Mass, and right now I think that mousesports want anything but, right? They don't want more Bs. Here's Voxic down through mid, looking to get stuck in with the AWP, and he's now creeping out into middle. The B problem has been dealt with. They've rehomed it. Shout out mousesports. Also, Chris J, can't believe it. I always am pegged as a nice guy. These are our friends. Let's remember that. Now, Chris J lining up a flash. Looking to get Carrigan in over towards short side, but there's no one here for them to find. And they actually just leave it all together. They leave middle. They go back. And, you know, we've had Bs in two senses of the word now. One in the boot camp and one here in the server. mousesports feeling inspired as they get ready to move on in. Flamey, open hand, and he's going to prove to be a bit of a nuisance, buzzing around at the back of the site. Rops finds him. Perfecto now. Oh, removed as well. Carrigan out in mid. And this is where the mousesports hive mind have to try and pull together to see this one through. Woxic getting that bomb down. Long flank from Boomich all the way in through T-spawn. Woxic waiting for a peek. Carrigan holding it the van, playing the trigger discipline, and follows up onto Simple as well. Boomich does deal with one player over here inside of the B site, but is he ready for Rops wrapping in through the lower tunnels? I don't think so. Not considering that as an option, and there's Rops dealing with him. The beekeeper, as he keeps that one under lock and key. It's mousesports moving on to 4.
I feel like we've opened a wormhole, Harry. We've opened Pandora's box, and yeah, that's a dangerous game with you and your tricky words. mousesports, they're looking good. They're looking in control right now. Flamey not as happy about that round because NaVi falling short in another rifle round. They're going to rebuy back in. No AWP in this time. Rops is just continuing his stellar performance all day long. 9-2, top of the server right now. Voxic sitting in the molly, hoping Flamey goes in for the repeak, but it's not going to happen, so burns off half his health. Boomich waiting close in the smoke. There's a run boost out for Voxic to try and take this mid control. Wary of an aggressive cat player. Oh, here, flash into the B site. Rops goes quick, and he's going to get Perfecto off the top of the box. He's fully blind, nothing to do. Simple tries to assist. If he can transfer to 2, that's a big hold. And now mousesports will be sent elsewhere. They can't come out through mid. That was only a 2-man effort towards B. Luckily, these earlier kills gained by mousesports have kept them equal. NaVi have yet to rotate, though. They are still in CT spawn, regaining ground up on A. Carrigan looking at the ground, frozen on the flank, and he's hit the perfect timing, but not perfect perfect enough. Flamey trading. Karrigan now stuck in the 1-on-2, and I like the disengage from Flamey. He falls into the spawn, he gives away the plant, and they play this as a unit. They could boost, they could jump, or they could just walk up the ramp, and Karrigan will come to them instead. NaVi, patient in the spawn, find their second.
I just love Flamey on Dust, man. Like, I feel like, you know, he's always someone that you know's there, but he's not like a name that you reference in the same way that you do someone like Simple and Electronic. Yeah. Here on Dust, there's just something about it. Like, his double AWP is great. His ability in these retakes is stellar. He is just such a complete player on this map and just such a menace. Like, look at this. First kill. And then pivots back, deals with this flank from Frozen. That kill there really does make all the difference, because at that point in time, he suddenly goes from like looking like the mastermind to someone in a very rough spot. He's getting pincered from Cat and Long. He pivots, instantly drops back in a CT, as you mentioned, Hugo, that disengage, and then just approaches it in the 2v1 with Simple. That's what we want to see. It's just Deegs now for mousesports. And what looks like a long take. Now, this might be easier said than done for the Mouse crew, especially with that deep molly. That's going to allow Boomich to work his way up close. And he's might be far deeper than Mouse are ready for. There's one gone. Follow up. And Boomich just making quick work of these pistols.
We've been seeing NaVi smoke mid at the start of the round. This round, they smoke mid and they delay cross. They take a second there. Obviously very scared of potential orcs or scouts fighting down the doors. But the good thing about the recent B door changes is it allows you to do that. You can be a bit slower on that mid cross because you're able to Molotov the tunnels from middle early on. You don't have to get into the B site to throw effective supporting utility. So that's nice. Spectre gets that molly in early. No B-rush anyway. mousesports are just trying to take long. And, well, NaVi have grabbed it right from their hands. Pushed towards the door. Simple's fighting, and he will succeed. Closing out the round with 3 for NaVi. And everyone staying alive on that Antico as well is good news for them and their money, as mousesports are only looking to buy back in here and now. No AWP available either. Their B crunches have been nice, right? We've not seen any proper mid to B splits. Flamey has been effective there in shutting down whoever heads middle for Mouse, but flashing Rops in through the B tunnels has had success so far. So let's see if Mouse continue to focus on this B control. Only Karrigan going there this time.
I felt like you said the phrase B so much now since the situation. You
can't
hear it the same.
Yeah, it might have been a wasp. We don't know. We're making assumptions here. Did we ask it?
Producer Tom said it was a B. I'm trusting him. Could have been a bumble. You've got to save the bees. They're very important for the environment, boys. No environment, no Counter-Strike. Because we'll be dead.
No honey.
Oh, that too. I went straight for the dark side.
Well, it's fun to focus on the inevitability of that. So let's let's dive back in to something to take our minds off of it. Karrigan over here at short. Flash is raining in towards long, going to allow the double peek from Chris J and co as they barrel on out, and now long control taken here for mousesports. Electronic looking like he wants to go aggressive, and Karrigan has absolutely no idea. The Molotov as well going to serve to cover up some of those footsteps as it blooms, allows the aggression to come in. And look at this, NaVi, they've completely left the B site. They have stacked up heavily on Catwalk. Simple's holding the cross, and that looked like a collateral waiting to happen, but they've dodged it. They find the kills. Boomich falls, and it's all on Flamey. I'll say it, I love him on Dust. Now would be a time to show us why. He's down in CT, trying to figure out how to approach this 1v2, and Rops, he's planted in the grossest spot you can think of. Flamey gets spotted, does get away with a bit of damage, but this is still a very tricky round for old Flamer.
Yeah, he's realized it. It's done. It's dusted. Regardless of that bomb plant, there would have been a problem later on. Thank you very much. I've lost my point now with the big B sign, but yeah.
He's buzzed off to the B site. How's that, Hugo?
He's saving. He's getting out of there. He wants nothing to do with this.
He's flown away. I hate myself.
Pest control are leaving the site.
I hate you too.
I mean, these are mice as well, right? We got animals on both sides. mousesports are going to get away with the AWP as well. It's a big upgrade considering they only had AKs coming into that round too. The long take's lovely. All comes down to Simple getting domed by Chris on this cross. Simple hits that shot, like you said, looked like a collateral. NaVi should have been able to hold A, at least trade better to set Flame up for a 1v1 on that rotation. But 1v2, Rob's getting the info, him being so far away, time was just not in his favor. So mousesports keeping things competitive. 3 to NaVi. mousesports going back for the long take. Woxic mollied out. This time won't take damage, but also will take a flash to the face and finds nothing.
Yeah, Simple's going to try and keep mousesports guessing, right? Always switching it up. This time going aggressive down here towards Cat with that orb. Still noise being made by Frozen over at long, but he's left here pretty much alone. Carrigan's still nearby with the bomb. So this is still feeling like it could culminate in an A play, but the thing that makes me doubt that is Rops is still here in these upper tunnels, and Chris J is holding on to the bottom of mid. So either we're going to see them go for this cat control and then fall back into one of these B plays later in the round. That's something that they like to do, right? Have the smokes needed to try and get into mid, and this is them signaling that cat control, like they want to try and go for one of these A plays. You'll see now that Chris J has left bottom mid, rejoins the rest of the gang over in the B tunnels. Carrigan does get tagged on the peak. Crucially, right, we got Frozen and Carrigan over here in middle. They have 2 smokes, so that kind of solidified that this is the B split. Frozen tagged crossing. And now NaVi know as well as we do. Flamey's going to try and hold down the site. Chris J's already in, and that's the bomb going in first. That is the most important thing in the game, dropped within the bomb site. That is a disaster. Perfecto, Simple, they're both here. They're lighting up the scoreboard, and this round is as good as done. For Mao's 2 on 4. There should be no way back into this. Perfecto, maybe if they bind him, but they're not ready for him in the site. So this one's over. Perfecto and Simple hold on, and NaVi get a 4th.
That looked exactly like every B rush you've ever done in a pug. 3 of your teammates standing in the tunnels. No one wants to be the first going out. Obviously, it was actually a flashbang that came through that blinded all 3 players after the bomb got dropped, and they were just standing there jumping, trying not to get shot in the face. So that's unfortunate. And then mousesports, they just have to come in through late. And Simple is lighting them up with that AWP like we hoped. And it's worth noting, Simple, he got forced off of Cat from that flashbang after he legs Carrigan. That's like best case scenario. That's what mousesports are trying to accomplish. But he immediately drops CT. He runs through the mid to B smoke, and he spots and tags Frozen heading towards B. Simple already knew it was an execute. And we had 3 players in and outside of the B site before mousesports even entered the tunnels. So yeah, that's a great reaction from Simple. He didn't fall for that cat take into the A site, but let's find out what happens when mousesports actually get up catwalk, because that seems to be the object of their desires.
Here we go. This is it. Simple. Ooh, missed shot. Tagged as well. Trying to fall back into the site. Now, you are running into Simple and Electronic. This is not the welcoming party that mousesports were hoping for. Nade, pretty brutal. Flash, pretty brutal. It's not feeling great. Molotov, even uglier. Uh-oh, this is gross. They're burning. They are burning. And here's Electronic. Maybe going to get the spray down. Simple helping out. They lose Boomich, but Simple at the crossroads is crossing them off his list. It's Rops, 1v4, Deeg in hand, and a very tricky round. Now, he does land that shot onto Electronic. Now he's looking for other players that were in rotation, dropping into CT. Perfecto's just... I thought he heard him, and I think he has. He turns back around, and now they're anticipating this mid-lurk. Rops a little late to catch anyone still crossing from B. He's trying to give us the signal that he knows what's up, but he doesn't. Flamey gonna find him, and it's 5 on the board for NaVi.
I love that double hold from Simple and Electronic on the A site. So much damage done by the utility. But on top of that, it's not just the damaging utility, it's the flashbangs. In the same way that they segregate Mouse's B site push in the previous round, they do the same on Cat. One player goes out wide, he dies, then a flash comes through, everyone's blind behind the smoke. And mousesports have to stop and slow down, letting NaVi throw in more grenades, do more damage through the smoke. Their flashbangs are excellent right now. And Electronic, he had 9 multi-kills back on train. He is showing up again. Great recovery rounds from NaVi. And now they're going to hit B fast. mousesports, oh dear, 2 missed shots. You can't afford that, Flamey. You're going to get overwhelmed now. Pistols out, he's tapping away. The flashes save him for only a moment. 2 kills. That knife for Frozen, killing Simple in the mid doors. What is going on? Double AWP for mousesports. They picked it up off the body of their foes. Perfecto going through into the B site, but he won't commit. Misses his opportunity. Tap on the site. It's Woxic with the bomb. He's waiting for support, and Boomich is on the long flank, but he is close behind.
Yeah, Boomich could end this whole round here and now. Frozen looking the wrong way, and now Woxic. This is horrible. Yes, too many angles to keep an eye on. Even with his 3K EDPI, it's not enough. 6 for NaVi as they pull ahead here. Still a very good round considering that was pistols for mousesports. They also get away with a knife kill, so they've made money here. The bomb plant as well, even going to add to that even further. Double AWP is a potential. We've seen, interestingly enough, we've seen Rops electing to be the man on that second AWP a hell of a lot. Now, that's very interesting to me because you've got Chris J in this team, and then even past that, you've got Carrigan, both of them with a history of AWPing. But it's been Rops donning it a lot of the time. I like the Chris for President sign in the background.
Get behind that.
I could get behind that.
I mean, he could be our Prime Minister in the UK if he wants. Like, I'm down. Anything.
Anything. Like, really desperate. Really, anyone, anything. We'll take it. Well, Boomich. Down here in the bottom of mid. And he's looking to lock down short side. Chris J does get out, but at what cost? Burning in the Molotov. The nade follows up. And that's a bit of a disaster. That's a bit of a rough start for Mouse. Nothing's really sticking right now for this mousesports squad. It's a last-ditch attempt at getting into B, and Rops thinks he can hold Woxic's hand on the push to get them in.
Ooh, Perfecto's hiding well behind the double stack. Rops has no idea. He's checking the car that's going to make him exposed. Perfecto hears a drop and he reacts, just trying to stay alive at this point, calling for a flashbang from his team, and no one here to help him out. Rops is fighting into the middle doors, very exposed. Woxic is going to save his teammate's life, and Rops can dart back out into the B bomb site. Burning utility as fast as they can to facilitate that plant. But NaVi are coming in quickly with a flashbang. It's avoided. Rops taking down Boomich and into a 2-on-2. More utility here for NaVi. mousesports aren't giving them a leg. They aren't giving them an arm. No way back in. Electronics got to force it coming through the smoke. Hearing the scope of Woxic. And the flick back is perfect. 3, make it 4. Get them all. Woxic shuts down the B retake. And mousesports pick up a 2-on-4.
Flamey just attempted the simple. He threw the AWP over the wall, picked up an M4, and then ran in through the window. You love to see it, but doesn't work out. Woxic on the other side gets that one at the locking key. It's 6-6. mousesports tying things up, keeping this competitive, and with that victory, bringing the economy of NaVi to its knees. They go for the force buy. Double AWPs out, and that is all they've got with pistols and armor around it.
Oh, that's so sick. Boost up for Simple. Chris comes out lower and gets a nice swift haircut. And this is a really important opening kill for NaVi, considering the buy, right? They've fully forced into this one. They have 2 AWPs and 3 pistols. Not a lot of weaponry. You're very reliant on this double AWP setup to do the damage. And Simple and Flamey, neither of which have armor. So massive opening kill. Flamey not going to play ahead of the smoke. Safe decision. Hanging around the edge anyway as Rops tries to put a bit of pressure on B. He has kept 2 players here. His bomb will be going up towards the A site right now, but it can always drop into a mid to B. And I think that's exactly where this is going. Carrigan's going to drop into the spawn and try and outflank Electronic. He sees him in the corner. Electronic doesn't hear it, but Simple gets the trade. That might be enough to set them up. Flamey's got another shot from the B doors, and with his teammate covering the tunnels, as long as he can hide in the site and buy more time, mousesports are in a very uncomfortable 2-on-4 once again, but it's the same 2 back up to no good.
Flamey nails the first shot. Woxic now on the angle, but surely not ready for Perfecto as well. That there is the big question mark. Perfecto gets legged on the no-scope from Woxic, but not the killing blow. It's 7 for NaVi. That full buy, putting everything they can into that round, gives them the results they were hoping for. Flamey just dominating at the B bomb site. Simple on this opener. I love that that's how they play around it, right? Like, you've got Simple, you've got him on an AWP. No one else really has anything. They throw him up into the boost to just strip a man away early on from mousesports and kind of invert that pressure, put it all onto the T side. Oh, goodbye, Woxic. Tries to peek down middle. Simple's a little faster off the mark, and he even follows up onto Frozen.
Yeah, Simple's gotten better every map of this series so far, and now peaking in the 3rd is exactly where we need him to be. NaVi looking for an 8-6 at bare minimum here. as mousesports save for the last round of the half. Simple going back towards B, chucking in a Molotov as Perfecto has no more utility but a single flashbang. The bomb is waiting outside of B, but Simple, he might not let them even worry about the bomb. He is removing every player from this round, flashing Boomage into middle as well. Chris, he dodges it for us. It seems like he dodges it, but I guess not. And Robs gets a think onto B, but this is already a lost round. He hasn't even taken the bomb with him, for crying out loud. But won't blame him. That round's already done. NaVi with 8. And this is it. mousesports' last chance, looking to equal up the score at halftime. Well, not equal, but split it, rather, down the middle, Harry.
Be interested to see if they go for that beast, but again, it seems like NaVi have been especially successful at shutting down momentum on A, and so Mouse just aren't bothering with it full stop. It looks like they're going 3 to B yet again, not even bothering for info on the A side.
Yeah, and they're going to go early as well. They're not waiting around. We get that fake smoke in mid for Carragher to cross catwalk, but by the looks of things, it's like mousesports want to go very early on into this site. And as I said, with Carragher using his smoke, he's not going to be able to throw anything in mid to B. NaVi already beginning those rotations. Flamey, as the smoke blooms, takes the shot onto Frozen and now repositioned to the window for a second. This is a mow down. This is a lockdown for NaVi, and even hiding in the site is Perfecto, stalling as long as he can. He drops another. Woxic in the clutch. We've seen him do things crazier, though, in the past.
Electronic at the doors, wrapping in its Boomage through tunnel, and that there could be Woxic's undoing. He taps the bomb. They don't peek yet. They think it might be a fake, and it's not. Woxic, almost in with the flick. But Boomage finds it, and that there is going to be 9 for NaVi at the end of the first half of play. 6 for mousesports. NaVi with a 3-round lead in the third and final map of this best-of-3 series. Stick around for the result after the break.
We've been friends for a long time now. Always have a good time whenever we go out. But you've been calling me up all the time and sending me signs and giving me them eyes. And you've been saying that you found the one, texting me junk and you wanna talk, but you can't say why. I can't get there and you know I've tried. You know I don't wanna waste your time. City lights, I'm looking in your eyes, but I can't say why. Doesn't feel right to call you mine. You know I don't wanna waste your time. I can't get there and you know I've tried, but I can't say why. Feeling lost like I just wanna time back time. Choked up, tell me how do I say this right? Cause you've been calling me up all the time and sending me signs and giving me them eyes. And you've been saying that you found the one, texting me drunk and you wanna talk, but you can't say why. I can't get there and you know I've tried. You know I don't wanna waste your time. City lights, I'm looking in your eyes, but I can't say why. Doesn't feel right to call you mine. You know I don't wanna waste your time. I can't get there and you know I've tried, but I can't say why. can't get there, and you know I've tried. You know I don't wanna waste your time. City lights, I'm looking in your eyes, but I can't say why. Does it feel right to call you?
Well, NaVi fans are feeling happy right now. They owe a lot both to the forces of nature in their team and the mother of nature for putting a B in the mousesports camp, now 9-6. At the end of that first half of play, pistol beginning, and Rob's taking an immediate peek in through mid. There's an Xbox smoke down, NaVi in the tunnels, and this pistol for the second half well and truly underway.
Very little investment from both sides. It looks like NaVi, they're taking a leaf out of mousesports, but they're going to play it a little bit slow on this one. bo3 lurking for information towards mid. And actually, it looks like we're going to see a little bit of domination there. Simple with the bomb, waiting for that information to come in. But little does he know that Frozen is there. He's waiting on the other side at the end of B. But is he going to be able to stop once the push, once the call comes in?
Yeah, that's the big question, right, Frankie? It's going to be Frozen playing this little crouchy, cheeky headshot denial angle that there is over towards the back of B. Mid-smoke comes in. Rops, they tried to check this earlier and they thought they had. Carrigan tapping away in middle, isn't ready for the other man. Oh, no. Knife out! Ah, he's missed, but he does get it. The second time around, bo3 stabbing Carrigan in the back. And now just Chris J and Woxic in this 2-on-3. They lose their captain, captain down here in middle. The bomb planted. What can Chris and Woxic do with this B site retake?
Woxic now moving in. He's searching for that information, but Perfecto, he's ready for him. Meanwhile, the wrap is coming in from Chris J. He's got those double doors in his sights. Perfecto, not really sure which way to look, but it looks like he might have got the info on Woxic. Chris J's making some noise, and Chris J's coming in with the wrap. Gets the sweet, sweet one tap onto Perfecto, but simple. Ooh! And Perfecto versus Chris is a 1v1. He's down to 2 HP. Perfecto, he knows he just needs to play for time, but Chris J, at the last moment.
It was close. It was so close. Like, Frankie, I would have loved it if that was like your first bit of play-by-players, just Chris J mopping up a 1v3. But sadly, it's close but no cigar. You can see the frustration on Carrigan there. He gets knifed, man. That's a classic Carrigan frustrated face. We know it. And we kind of love it because we love the Carrigan face. But when it's frustrated, easy on the wall from mousesports. But is it easy in the server? That's the question. Woxic gets tagged on the cross and actually doubles back in towards this A bomb site.
Yeah, long take goes the way of NaVi. mousesports don't look to contest it too heavily. They will be boosting the scout back up onto the bomb site as NaVi do the same on long. Patient as ever. We know what NaVi's long control can be like. Robs is not. He is anything but patient. Pushing through the tunnel smoke flame. He's going to clear it. The late lurk towards the B site is perfect. And with Robs dead, Frozen needs to stay here in anticipation of what could be a rush. It's nothing of the sort. It's NaVi holding default. And when you lose that man in a round like this for mousesports, you're going to feel the need to get aggressive, to try and find a trade. And all that's done is dig them deeper and deeper in the hole. Chris gone on long. Woxic finally gets peaked, and that earlier damage collapsed on by Simple Scout. Nice shot from Carrigan. Always good with the deagle, but is it going to be enough?
Oh, there we go. Frozen does deal with Flamey. However, this 2-on-3 still unlikely for Mouse. They've given themselves a fighting chance. Carrigan lying in wait over here at short. Deagle, maybe the stuff of legends here. It's going to have to be. Smoke goes in, and with that, that might be the round all said and done, right? Carrigan knows it, we know it, they hate to admit it, but it's what's happening. Wrapping in through long, it's going to be bo3, and actually, mousesports still over here at short. They've had like a bit of a face-to-face meeting and a disagreement as to how this round was going to pan out. Carrigan wanted to save, Frozen wanted to go for it, and in the end, it's Carrigan trying to make the safe choice that gets taken down. So it's 11 on the board for NaVi as they deal with that force buy from Mouse relatively easily.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world losing the guns, right? It's not like they're going to have much to show for in the follow-up. Just flat USPs, you can imagine. Kind of round to get creative. mousesports often are with these pistols, with these full ecos, stacking up, head boosting.
I'm sorry. Why are you wearing a VP shirt on fan cam, mate? Decide who you're supporting here. Come on, get your NaVi jersey on, but just make sure you've got a jersey on, to be fair.
That's better, you know, at least he's wearing a shirt.
Yeah, because I'm British, I'm mostly offended by anything nudity. I mean, I'm shocked that you've got a short sleeve t-shirt on, to be honest.
I know, showing a bit too much skin.
It's distracting.
Shoulders are distracting, according to schools. Right now, NaVi is schooling mousesports, teaching them a lesson. It's a bit of a mid-push. Creative is a must here for mousesports, but the results aren't going to show through. Only damage. Electronic swoops in to assist, and they can just get out of here if they want. They've got 3 kills. Perfecto's coming in with full health from T-Spawn, and Flamey looks to make money. Simple yoinks it away. This round is just done as quick as it comes. 12-6. NaVi in a commanding lead right now, and to think that they've only just started their T-side, this is where we love NaVi on this map. So it's going to get scarier and scarier. We are really relying on people like Woxic with that AWP to show us what he can do. Meanwhile, Chris, on the other side of things, 3-16, having a really rough start, or just rough map. It's not even a start. We're in the second half. And yeah, well, we need something out of someone at this point because NaVi have no signs of slowing down.
Perfecto's hung out to dry here. He could prove to be a liability. No one's nearby to help, and so he needs to kind of win this fight. It's Chris J down in pit. That nade might delete him, and it does. Great one from Perfecto to at least get a 1-for-1 out here towards long. Now Woxic posted up at car with the AWP, trying to drive by in this round. But it's the slowdown from NaVi. Signature move. They completely pull the brakes. Trying to dodge that collision at car over towards the A-bomb site. And this now puts the seed of doubt in mousesports' head, right? It's them sat in a 3-on-4. And they're the ones who maybe start to overthink. They're the ones who can start to shift around and move into some sort of gamble. NaVi, they're just going to wait patiently for as long as they can. Likely not even going to see them begin to move till that 30-second mark.
All frozen. Holding very close indeed. Flamey is just selling this B fake, and that's going to keep 2 players here and one on the mid side as well. Woxic, he's rotating in, and Flamey's getting spotted. He will get taken down, but now the penny should drop here for mousesports. They realize it's nothing more but a lone MAC-10. It's a long take instead. Double smoke cross. Woxic, he's going to be rolling the dice here with a shot, but instead getting closer. Umij going for the wide long plant as well. Luckily enough, no one on catwalk to stop them. That Molotov down will deny any presence of mousesports. Yeah, this is probably the best call you can make. A save here. Both of their other players committed inside of B, nowhere near that A-bomb site. Too far a rotation, and this round is too far gone. NaVi 13-6. 7 rounds in a row.
It's not just Chris J who's having a quiet map so far. Frozen as well. Yeah, he had his moment of glory with the knife kill in that first half, but since then, really, we're not seeing necessarily what we'd expect from him. He's not really getting those opening duels either. 1-4.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a struggle, and that's like one of the problems when it's not just, you know, like one guy struggling a bit and you can try and like lift them up with the rest of the gang. It can feel a little bit tricky because it's like, you know, how do you lift someone like Chris J up? This guy's been through it all. What do you say to him to get him feeling it again? And then you look towards Frozen as well. He's been having a pretty rough time of things thus far, struggling at securing those openers. Obviously as well, he's found himself over here towards B, which has been like very hit and miss. So this round, Chris J falls out of the gate. The bad times just keep getting worse for Chris J. Burning in the molly is Boomich. That's actually a kill from beyond the grave for Chris. Woxic flashed off, and this time they might try and rush him down a little bit more. They didn't fight him the last time they were in this position, but now they look to challenge. Woxic holding for the cross back, snipes down Flamey, and that there leaves Mouse now back into a 3-on-3. That duel in mid really means everything, and Frozen falling a little bit short. Now splits this Mouse defense up 1-1 between either bomb site. It's Rops and it's Woxic, the 2 top performers thus far for Mouse. If anyone was going to be able to get it done, it's these 2. Simple. Gonna catch Rops over towards B, and this actually leaves Woxic now in what should have been a save. Maybe that peek from Electronic spurs him on to try this. And, you know, the odds very much stacked against him. He's very far away. And it's that, mate, honestly, it's the distance. It's the time that it's going to take. It's the fact that NaVi, they take mid. Oh, if only Woxic knew. Simple, don't go back.
You're crazy.
Oh, no. Woxic is hiding. They're all low. Everyone is almost dead. They're 11, 12, and 13 HP. Counting with NaVi.
Simple now saying, if you're going to bait me, Woxic, well, you know what? I am absolutely coming for you, my friend. He's just wrapping around, desperately hunting for him. But Woxic knows he's baited Simple to perfection. He's hiding back in pit. Who is going to win this 1v1? Oh, and it's Simple.
Yeah, I mean, I would usually put my money on Woxic to hit that shot, but I think at this point, you know, cracks are starting to show. mousesports are crumbling in front of our very eyes. You mentioned the opening kills for Frozen, Frankie, 1 and 4. Sadly, he's not the only one. The top performer, being Rops, is also 1 and 4 at OD. ODs, that's probably not what I'm going to call it. Opening duels. Chris is 0 and 4. The RNG meter really hitting him in these last 2 gun rounds. Both times he's had the long spawn. No one wants to do it, but sometimes you just have to try and get into that pit. And he just gets caught on the cross by Electronic this round. Another opening kill for NaVi. Add it to the trophy room.
Moment of silence for the guy holding his phone up to the inverted horizontally camera so it all reads backwards. That's sad, but
Guys, we know what it said.
it was a boomage message.
It was Numa Numaye.
Boomer Boomer.
I think we know what we're listening to in the car on the way home, gents.
Oh no.
Well, let's see, right? Because we're already focusing on the journey home. There's still possibly some legs on this game. It's going to require a lot from mousesports, and we haven't seen anything yet that's going to give us much promise for that. But I've always got a degree of faith, and maybe I'll get proved wrong. Woxic opening up with a kill on a boomage. That there has at least started Mouse off with a man advantage. That's something that they've not really had yet on this CT side. Is that enough? Chris J spotted down in the pit, this time by Flamey. Simple holding for the CT peek from Carrigan. The timing just couldn't be worse. Simple deletes him. Flamey's making noise at long, and he's kept 3 players at this A bomb site. If NaVi split into B, Rops is effectively in a 1v3 at this side of the map. The mid smoke goes down, and now Mouse are having to consider that this B play could be coming in. This is a little bit interesting, though, because NaVi, they start to take cat control now. They're still trying to leave their options open. It's not uncommon to see them leave it down to the last possible second. Alert gets dealt with, and now they commit up cat. Missed shot from Woxic, but he's got support. Plenty of it over towards long. NaVi darting back off catwalk. Now the B play looks to come through. Problem is, they don't have these mid smokes anymore. Electronic has got 1, but this still leaves a little sight line open to a man like Woxic. If he gets in the right place at the right time, isn't even wrapping top mid. Uh-oh, he didn't kill Simple. That's always scary. Rops, can he hold down B? If he wins these fights, he wins the round, and only good for 1. It leaves Electronic. Woxic there, 7 for Mouse.
Yeah, he has come alive once he's grabbed this AWP on the CT side. Some big rounds, some big kills from Woxic. And he even comes in through that mid-smoke, knowing Simple's there. Frozen commed it across and beats him with a P2000 rather, and then closes it out here, not giving Electronic the room to get that bomb plant. Like you said, Harry, maybe still legs on this game, maybe still a chance. It's up against 14, which always feels all the more impossible, but we can't count mousesports out. Yeah, NaVi, if they hit B earlier, they probably would have won the round, but it was going up towards A, losing the man at long to Frozen in the corner, and then seeing Woxic on the card. That was the info that everyone was A and only a solo B player. NaVi, they're just going to hit it quick now. Rops and Frozen playing a crossfire, so blind though, they can't see a thing, and they'll just perish in the fire and flames. Boomage flashed out himself, sprays down Carrigan, and NaVi, they've turned the temperature up. They are cooking with gas. It's Chris alone, 1 on 4. Gets a second kill, but at this point, NaVi, unless they start to really overplay their hand and chase this one down with the bomb planted, this should be their round.
Well, now we're going on a walking tour of Dust 2 with Chris J. He's going to take us through it as he tries to hold on to this AWP. Perfecto doesn't want to let him get away with it. He would have heard that scope in as well. Knows that he's up on short. He's made noise. And ooh, Perfecto getting caught. Chris J with 3. Doesn't want to give this AWP away. Should be fine. Should be able to escape now uncontested. Still, 15 on the board for NaVi, right? It's an AWP held onto, but is that going to prove to be valuable for Mouse? Chris J can drop a gun over. Rops has money to buy. The rest of the gang, it's a little bit more called into question. There will be 3 rifles, though, at the very, very least. An attack pause to try and help them out. NaVi stood on the finish line, and all that's left to do now is get across it.
Yeah, mid to B along for Boomish is excellent in this round as well. It's something we never really saw from mousesports on this T side. Something that was maybe lacking in that first half. They had some really successful B hits, but it was never coming out through mid unless they were throwing lurk smokes out CT spawn to go cat. So right now, NaVi just a fast commitment into B, and it works wonders. Great flashbangs as well. Both Rops and Frozen at the back of the site, fully blind. Frozen sits in the Molotov and just perishes because he knows no better. He knows nothing at that point. And well, now mousesports up against match point here for their opener in Cologne. They've had a great showing, right? Assuming this is over for mousesports, they should still be happy about the fact they've taken this to 3, but yeah, NaVi coming back in with full force. Their boot camp working wonders. Double AWP for mousesports. Karrigan's had enough of waiting around. Unfortunately, NaVi are the ones waiting around for him at the top of middle. Oh dear, bit scary. Karrigan might need to duck and dive out of this one. NaVi are peeling away from long to deal with him.
Yeah, he's going to stick around. This is an interesting decision from Karrigan. He is in a pretty rough spot and swinging out into the arms of Perfecto. That there is his demise. 4 on 5 now for Mouse. And with NaVi leading a few players into these tunnels, Chris JLO taking up the position of his fallen IGL. Is he going to fare any better? Chris J, what you got for us, man? What you been cooking up in the... Ooh, well, ultimately, mate, nothing. It's actually Flamey cooking with fire. 3 on 5 now. mousesports double AWP, MP9 for Frozen. Can they keep this game alive?
Oh, Boxing's so blind as well in the corner. Boomish has even gotten out through middle. This is just to cut off a rotate and nothing more. Rops is ready for it, though. Won't fall for that trickery. Woxic wants to get aggressive as this smoke fades. Electronic turns around, but he sees the barrel. It gives it all away. Frozen flashes in through the smoke, but he doubles back, and probably rightly so, because there are 2 players on the right side waiting for his cross. Simple being one of them. The spray is good for Frozen, but the Molotov is better. It's going to push him back and keep mousesports out of this site for seconds longer.
It's the positioning of Flamey, you know, like being down in the pit, able to hold the cross that causes problems. Electronics at short. Every peak that mousesports try and take, they're going to have at least 2 guns trained in on them. Electronic can just wait as well till he hears these players having to direct their attention elsewhere. Now he swings out, and that's Flamey from down in the pit to lock it in for NaVi. They take this series 2-1. Nuke might have been a slow start, but then they hit the ground running on Train and here on Dust as well. We see what we want to from the NaVi boys. They get this one done. And for mousesports, it's back to the drawing board. Stick around. We'll be back to our drawing board after a quick break, so don't you go anywhere.